Starting. All right, guys, what's going on? We're here. We're live. We're a little bit late, but that's okay. Welcome to a Poker Live podcast. My name is Jose Hingram, aka Chicago Joey. I'm joined today by my. I feel like this kid is kind of like my. I feel like he's like my German, and by German I mean Austrian. Sorry, Fedor.
I'm German. That's good.
Wait, you are German?
I'm German. Yeah.
I thought you were Austrian. Is that the same thing? I don't want to offend any countries.
I just live in Austria like every other German does.
Oh, okay. Well, my German little brother, Fedor Holz, aka CrownUpGuy, aka Mr. Tournament Winner, aka the man. What's up, Fedor? How's it going, Poppy?
Hey, it's going pretty good. Had a great day.
What does that mean? Wait, did you win any tournaments in the past 2 hours or what?
I didn't. I'm taking some days off because I have a very exciting three months coming up.
Do you sometimes get bored of just winning tournaments? I mean, it feels like you win a big tournament all the time.
I mean, you make fun of it, but at some point it really just becomes a different experience. So it's really good to reset the counter and start fresh at some point. Yeah.
How great is it that people can make fun of you for winning so many tournaments? I mean, I wish people made fun of me for winning too many tournaments. You know, it's like that's not a bad thing to be made fun of for.
No, I definitely win less tournaments than you think I do, but it's I think it's definitely worse things to be made fun of.
I agree. All right, guys. So I am on location right now. As you can tell by my background, we're not in the podcast headquarters. We're out here in San Diego. We're we're a little bit of this, we're a little bit of that. And for those that don't know Fedor, you still 21, Fedor?
Yeah, still 21.
Okay, Fedor's been on the podcast a couple times. He won the W Coupe main event on PokerStars for, how much was that for?
1.3 million.
Okay, you won 1.3 million W Coupe last year. We were kind of live streaming that too. He even popped in the chat previous to winning it that day. So we took a little credit for the podcast run good on that. But he's been on a couple times and fun guy. Acts much older than 21. When I was 21, if I had a conversation with Fedor, I don't know what we would have talked about because I don't know. I feel like you're like in another universe of 21-year-old, my friend.
I mean, I'm still doing stupid shit sometimes, so.
Well, okay, so we had you on in January or December?
Yeah, I think December was it.
December. So how many tournaments? What big tournaments have you won since then?
I think I took down the 100 rebuy, which was a very amazing tournament to win. That felt pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then I think the Sunday Major, and actually I took down a 700 euros live tournament. That was very, very exhausting. It was probably it was so deep. It was like a 5-day tourney or something, or I think 5 days. It was ridiculous. Like on day 5 I was so tired because I had to drive there for like over an hour. Like drive there, play like 11 hours, and then drive back. I would never do it again. Although obviously it was really nice to win it, but I was pretty much sleeping after I won it. So. Yeah.
Daniel says so many he can't remember. So wait, you were playing a 700 euro live tournament was 5 days. Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly.
What? Where country was this in?
In Austria, actually. That's where I played it. Like friends of mine, they run the series, and they asked me, "Do you want to come? It's going to be like pretty big." Maybe some people know it. It's called MPS.
MPS.
Yeah, it's pretty decently big in Europe. It gets like 50K for first or something. And this one, it's like all my friends played, and so I thought like, yeah, maybe it's nice. And then all of my friends busted. I was alone, pretty much playing the whole time. So I mean, I really enjoy playing poker, but at some point, I think I don't enjoy it as much as I did like 2 years ago, where this would have been obviously very nice, way nicer than it is right now.
We're all sympathizing with you, buddy. God, man, fucking really sucks to have to just fucking win a tournament, like win a live tournament. Gosh.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously.
They're miserable. Wait,
I mean, it shouldn't come across like, you know, I don't care. I still really enjoyed it, but obviously if you compare to like what other wins feel like, or I mean the side event, for example, in Barcelona, which was roughly the same amount of money, I think, I felt so good, you know. It was it felt so much better than winning something online. But like this one, at some point, you know, after like 60 hours of poker, you're just over it, I think.
So on that note, are you ready for the World Series of Poker?
I am. I don't know. I probably, compared to others, I don't prepare that well. Like, I still try my best by not playing too much because I don't really.
You prepare by not playing. That's awesome. Okay, that's a great way to prepare.
It sounds weird, but it's actually pretty important. Like, especially with Scoop before it. I think Scoop is gonna make or break us, I guess.
Wait a sec, you think Scoop can make or break you?
Yeah, I mean it's like 14 hours, 14 days of poker where I probably play like between 9 and 12 hours every day. And it's right after Monte Carlo where I will play like 9 to 12 hours every day. And Vegas is like 3 days after it where we'll play like 9 to 12 hours a day, probably more 12 than 9. So it's like no breaks, and I probably grind from like 29th of April to like 15th of July. I'll just play poker like non-stop. It is like pretty much no day off, and I've never done this before. I mean, I did some heavy grinding, but I never did like, you know, just this kind of thing because it's different. Like it's not playing online for, you know, you're not like, you can't say, okay, I'm not leaving the house right now. It's switching a lot between different kind of skill sets. You know, you have to prepare yourself, like have food at home or cook something or whatever. And then when you're in Vegas, you have to do something completely else. You know, you have to get food somewhere, like completely different time schedule, like 6 hours different or something. I think that's a big challenge.
So do you think that this approach you're about to take, where you're going to be playing this many days, I mean, what you just said, you said that you prepare by not playing as much. So are you considering potentially like, you know, maybe, do you feel like you have to play all the tournaments? Do you think it might be better to miss some tournaments, and that way you're fresher, you're more prepared, you know what I mean? Even though like it seems like you're like, obviously you want to play everything, but at the same time, it's almost like, you know, maybe there's just a better, like a more GTO approach to it than just grinding, and then, you know.
Yeah, I completely.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I completely agree with you. Like I think you're right. It's definitely more GTO, you know, to say like, okay, I'll take a break, like I'll take a 1 week break after 6 weeks or something. But then again, you don't know, like I cannot predict how I'll feel after it. I cannot predict how I feel after 6 weeks. And to just say right now, okay, I'm just gonna take a break, like 1 week break after 6 weeks, maybe, you know, maybe there are better times to take a break. So that's why I decided I just like look after every day, every week, how do I feel? How was it? And then if I think like maybe I need a break, I should take a break.
Yeah, that'd be a good plan. Kind of just, I think that's what a lot of people do. They kind of just see how their body or their mind feels, or like how the results are going, how their confidence is, and then they decide like, okay, I can either push through this. But some people, I feel like some people do plan like a break during that time, just because they know that they're going to need it. So they just plan it ahead of time. That way they're not stressed out. Because I think what happens is sometimes you get in like, you're like at the 5 week point, and you know you should be taking a break. You know you're not playing well. But like the poker player in us just doesn't let us take a break for like 2 weeks. And then you have 2 weeks where you're playing poorly, but you think you're playing well, but you're just not. And then you take that break maybe 3 weeks too late. And then, I mean, I think that's what happens a lot of times with people when they're...
It does. Especially when you're at this point when, let's say, you don't take a break when you could take one, like when the tournaments are like, probably you should, like, I don't know, a couple of like tournaments you don't really have to play, and then there's like a 1K, 1 million for first, and like main event coming up, and you cannot stop playing. Like,
Right.
especially when you're at this point of being exhausted. I mean, I never experienced it, so I don't know, but that's what I see as problems that could come up is like you're like already pretty much on your limit after like week 5, and then there's a main event and you have to play like 10 days in a row. So
Yeah.
it's like people say that it's like, you know, nice and when you run deep, but it's definitely stress. Like, I mean, I played the Malta main, I think it was 6 days or something, and it is really like I played WPT for 5 days or 6 days, and then right after it I played 120 one day and then 6 days main event again. It's like obviously amazing. Like there's no better feeling than running deep in such journeys, but it's ridiculously exhausting as well because you don't get sleep and you pretty much force your mind to think about nothing else for like 6 days because you never know when it's gonna start. When you say like, okay, I have to be focused for tomorrow, and then again you say I have to, oh yeah, I cannot go drink, I cannot have this or this, I have to be focused for tomorrow. And then this, you know, you end up being completely taken by poker for 14 days. And then imagine this would happen for like 3 months. I think this is very unhealthy for pretty much every person.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have pretty, you know, like a lot of good poker players, good tournament players. Let's say that. Wait, I don't want to take shots at any tournament players. I'm just going to say good tournament players. And, you know, I think a lot of them probably have good ability at tournaments, but especially during the World Series of Poker, when they get to like day 20, their ability, instead of playing their A game, they're playing their C game, thinking they're still playing their A game. And I think like this skill in itself, and this is honestly way too much like of a strategical idea because it actually applies to cash games too. Not as much at cash games, but definitely more at tournaments. It's just like being able to identify and act on when you're not playing well. I think that's the thing. A lot of people can identify it, but the best can act on it and figure out what they need to change or what they need to do to get back to playing super well. And I mean, these are the kind of things that separate the elite players, obviously in tournaments, you know, the people that run the best in theory. But yeah, I think this is a pretty important concept that's not really talked about ever.
I think you just made one of the most important points of poker in general is just like reflecting yourself. It's like why people are successful, like why some are successful and others are not, because they think about themselves in a very like kind of distant way. Like they're trying to look at themselves from some meters away, and then they're looking, oh, maybe I'm probably not playing to my best ability right now. What made this happen? And then they're kind of observing what's different than when they play their best, and then they change those things. I think this is one of my strongest abilities, because I'm not one of the, like, a lot of people say that, and I always kind of, I mean, I don't care anymore, but like before that, it's always like, oh yeah, he's so smart, you know. But I don't think it's like that. I think there are a lot of people who are way smarter than I am, especially like players that are better than me, even some that are a little bit worse than me. I think most of them are smarter than I am. I think I'm just a little bit better at like seeing myself, you know, the way I am, and others the way they are. Some like every time back in school, like the last couple of years, when people have problems with their relationships, they always come to me and tell me, yeah, what's going on there? And then I tell them like, and then they're like, oh yeah, that's pretty easy. And obviously it's the same thing. Then again, obviously with those people who can do that, it's mostly that they fuck up with their own relationships. But because as soon as emotions get into play, I cannot apply that. Like it's when for example I want to think about something from, you know, an observing kind of standpoint, I cannot do it because emotions are in my way. So when I play, I try to get emotions as much as possible out of my game, and that was ridiculous in Malta. Like I couldn't. I don't know if you followed any of it, but like I busted in a hand where I'd say that I would 99% of the time, even in like my close to my worst mindset, I would pretty much always fold. It's like a slightly minus if you call, but it is like a pretty big one. What I think.
Switching. I'm talking to myself. The thing keeps switching on me because I have my custom on the bed setup. Continue on, my friend.
So it's like I called aces in a spot where like relative hand strength was like, it was a stupid call in terms of losing money or like winning chips, but it's a call that a lot of people make because you have aces. Okay, you see what I'm talking about? This is like, I even afterwards, I like in game, I actually did quite some good things. I looked at him and I asked a pretty good question, I think, in hindsight. Like, do you really have a set? And then he looked at me, and he was like, like he wasn't unsure in any way. Like he was 100% sure that he's gonna win his hand, you know what, no matter what. But emotions were so strong in me that I couldn't think like one proper second about the hand. I couldn't think, okay, yeah, he's strong. I just have to fold. Or like in general, I couldn't think, yeah, this is the spot that, you know, divides me from other players that are maybe weaker. Like that's what made me a strong player in the last, you know, 6 to 12 months, to just fold in spots where I think folding is the best play. And it's a long story, but it's one that, you know, is very like it got to me because I stood up and obviously I was like super emotional, and I went outside and it was raining and super windy, and I walked home. And then like for the next 15 minutes, I just like, you know, it all came into me. Like it's just like, I mean, I'm mostly thinking hand combinatorics and like what he could have, and I was just like, okay, yeah. I just felt very far away from everything, and I just thought about it for like couple of minutes. I was like, yeah, okay, I made a bad call, but I know exactly why I did it, and I'm trying not to let it happen again, and there's no reason to be super mad at it right now. So when I came back, I was just, you know, that was the first time I was like really after half an hour, I was pretty happy with myself, and I could make jokes about it because I realized that it you know, I don't get anything out of being mad right now that I made a bad call. I just, yeah, I gave everything to prevent it from happening again, and that's everything I can do right now. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't have me to be mad. So that's, yeah.
I'm not going to expand on that point any farther, but I just want to tell people that might have heard that, if you didn't understand it completely 100%, go back and rewind it, listen to that again, and listen to it a couple more times. Save that point to the point. Save that, what he just said, that idea, the concept he just said, until you can really understand it and you can really apply it to yourself. I mean, what you just said is seriously like, that kind of idea concept is never talked about. No one ever brings it up. It's kind of hard to even quantify sometimes, I guess, in the moment when you're thinking about it. But like that right there, I mean, honestly, this is just another thing that separates, you know, the best players. Being able to really do something like that and identify it properly, and then, you know, get over it, not let it stick with you. I mean, yeah, that's something, I mean, I struggled at that for like 5 years. I even knew I was doing it wrong, but I struggled at it for 5 years. And it's things like that like, it's just really hard. Like, how can someone ever know that about a player, that the player's good at doing that? Or how can someone know that, oh, this guy is good at, you know, getting over a hand very quickly? Like, there's no way to, there's no stat for that. There's no like way to know when you play with someone. And I think that's what makes the really good players really good.
Definitely, yeah, I completely agree.
We'll give a couple chat. We got some weird people in the chat today, but I got love for weirdos. I got love for stalkers. I got love for the creeps. You bring the creepy things to the chat, though. I mean, I got some love for you still, but I see we got a lot of regs out there. We got my boy Zach. What's up, Zach Puppy? Joe Broker. I think Joe Broker. I've never seen him before, but he says, "You are so beautiful, Fedor. I love his glasses. It makes me horny."
He's a good guy. A very good guy.
Is this a chess opponent of you, or what was this? Who's Joe?
Just someone from I'm blogging from I'm blogging at Poker Strategy, like
Mhm.
sometimes, rarely. I did more like half a year ago, and he was blogging there, and I found him very interesting personality, and he had quite some shit going on in his life, so I had quite a long talks with him, and yeah, he's quite like he's a friend of mine right now. Yeah, he's a
Cool.
good guy.
Well, shout out to Joe. We got my boy Marcus. What's up, Marcus Puppy? Brian Goose, Heaven, Marco. I think that's what I see. I might be missing a couple names. We'll do some shouts later. I don't like to. I like to space my shout outs out now. So, and then I kind of yeah. What are you planning for Scoop? Are you guys getting a house? I remember you mentioned the Canada house one time you went there.
Yeah, the Canada house was amazing, but I think I found my own Canada house, and yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, I moved apartments. I told you a little bit about it. I moved apartments like 4 months ago, and it's the first time I feel like home for, I don't know, 5 years probably,
Wow.
and it's amazing. Like it's really just the joy I get out of this apartment is worth everything I'm paying for.
What makes it that? Like, why do you say that?
It's just the moment we walked in, it was just like, yeah, okay, this is cool. This fits exactly what we're looking for. Yeah, the location is awesome. And then we went to the roof, and it's just like, yeah, okay, we're gonna move in here. We have 60 square meters roof terrace,
What?
and you can see it's like the building is a little bit higher than all the other buildings, so you can see all over Vienna. And it's, I don't know, I just enjoy in every break. Most of the breaks, I just go up there, take a deep breath, and just look around, and it's like, yeah, this feels pretty good.
Looks around. He sits up there, looks around. Life is good, man. Life is good. I mean, that's.
And then I turn around and look to my back, and I see a whirlpool standing on the rooftop, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump in there after I won the tournament.
So wait, do you have a pool or jacuzzi on the rooftop too?
Yeah, jacuzzi. Yeah.
What? That's fucking sick. How much is this place a month?
We're paying about 3K. Yeah,
3K.
but we're two persons.
Okay, I mean that's like it's relatively cheap for most cities I've lived in. I mean that's like half the price I've paid for a lot of my really nice apartments in different.
Yeah,
different
I mean, I wouldn't like, this is already kind of my like limit I pay, and it's definitely because I think it's worth it. You know, I wouldn't. I lived in a nice apartment for 500 euros. That was pretty nice as well when I traveled a lot. But now I plan on, studying, and it's just I just feel like every euro, it's kind of an investment, because I grind better, I grind more. It's so nice to get people here, like Sylvester, we had an amazing party and all this stuff. It's just like people enjoy being here, and that makes me feel very good.
I think this is another, like, a lot of things people don't think about when it comes to accommodations where you live. And what I always just tell people, because I had like a 5K a month place, a 6K a month place, and people are like, "Oh, you're dumb. Like, why would you do that? That's idiotic." But I think what happens is it's like you can kind of take that and use it as motivation when you're in the moment, when you're seeing your view, you're in your place. You're just like, you just really like enjoy where you're at. And I think that motivates me a ton to want to work harder and grind, just like seeing the space I'm living in. And then obviously, as you said, when you have guests over, you kind of sit there enjoying it. It's just like, I think you can almost use this like nicer place or more rent as motivation to make more money. So I would argue that me paying an extra 2K, maybe more than I might normally spend, actually makes me, who knows how much more from the difference.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the moment I moved in here, I think I grinded for like 2 weeks straight, just out of, I don't know, I just felt like doing it. And
exactly,
it's just these little things that make the difference, I think. Just all those small things that add up, all those minutes you spent with friends up on the roof, all those minutes you spent with friends, sitting down there and everybody's enjoying it. I think this is stuff I'd like to spend money on, experiences, and not material stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think I realized that this is what I want to spend my money on.
I think you were kind of like that the first time I had you on, though. Maybe back in October, September. You had a very similar viewpoint on things. You didn't really say you bought anything too crazy. you just kind of that same approach, and it sounds like that's still pretty true. It seems like you almost might actually be stronger towards that way.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, in general, it's like I definitely spend money. You know, I spend money on food. I spend money on my apartment. If I see something that I like, I would buy it. You know, if, it's not like, okay, I like this. It looks okay. I'm gonna buy it. But if it, like, wow, this is amazing, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I just bought myself. Do you know those kind of city rollers? I don't know if it's called like that in English, but
what's it do? What is it?
It's like a skateboard, but you have something to hold on your hands, like, you know, like this, and then you can.
Something called a scooter or something like that.
Yeah, a scooter, exactly. Yeah, scooter.
Okay.
So.
What?
Huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this was something I saw it online. I was like, oh, this is amazing. I really want to have that. And I just bought one, like for, I don't know, 160 euros or something, like an amazing one. And this is stuff I really enjoy. You know, if I see something and it's amazing, I think it's not unreasonable, I go ahead and buy it right away. That's more my style, I think.
I like that. I think I need to learn more of that. Not because I usually just buy anything I want, but I need to buy things I actually really love, like that. Like, because it almost makes when you actually buy things, you like enjoy it more because you're not just like firing away on every single thing you like. So instead of like things you like relatively, like a little bit, save it for things you really like. That could be a better approach to things.
Definitely.
Man, I need to adopt that. I buy way too many fucking clothes, man. I just like I see any clothes. I like honestly, like I pack so much, man.
But clothes is something actually. I mean, I just thought about it. Like, look at everyone who's filthy rich. You know, like all those guys. Most of them, they just wear the same stuff every day. Like everyone who's recognizable and who's out there, I just realized that every time they're wearing the same stuff. Like Steve Jobs, he's just wearing this thing like every time he's leaving the house. It's kind of, I think they do that because they don't want, you know, they realize that this is just time that has no, you know, it does not really has any value. You know, it's like you feel good for like 5 minutes, maybe like 30 minutes, or like when somebody makes you a compliment. But I think most of them, they do that because those are not compliments, you know, they think that are like something that they value. And that's why they don't, like, first of all, they just don't want to spend the time on it, I think, by choosing, because if you think about it, how much time you spend on deciding what you want to wear, this is just time you can use for something different. So I found this approach very interesting, and I think since then I bought definitely less clothes, and I was like, yeah, okay, I like having stuff to choose from, but it's definitely something that is like never ending as well. And there are a lot other stuff, like there's a lot of other stuff that is like one thing and it makes me happy over and over again, and clothes is definitely not one of them, you know?
No, that makes sense. Kind of. Where'd you read that somewhere, or where did you hear that at?
I think I read something about it in a book, and then I just saw someone like over and over again who was like the CEO of a big enterprise, and he just wore the same funny pullover every time. I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, just if that's the way, you know, you save your time, I think it's admirable in a way. You know, it's a cool thing to do, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite to that point yet when it comes to. I still care more. I mean, I care not as much as I maybe did a couple years ago, but I'm not to the point where I just like wear a plain white shirt and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, you know, a kind of mindset you have to be in. It's something like you don't care about it anymore. But I just realized that I'm not in that mindset as well. You know, I have a lot of clothes. I like to choose between them. I like to, you know, choose what I wear. But I think it has to do a lot with your self-esteem and how you think you're coming across to other people. You know, if you're like 100% sure in yourself, you know, if you have this self-confidence that you're like, and this you know, this real strong self-consciousness that you know exactly how you come across and how you want to appear, and you can accept this, you know, this thing, like the situation. I think then you can start, you know, accepting stuff like this and just take it out of your life and decide that this does not have priority in your life, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's a real I mean, these kind of concepts, I've been thinking about similar concepts, but they're more applied to like dating properties for the most part. But I think that those kind of things can all be applied to, I mean, clothes. You can apply them basically to any sort of item or any sort of thing that you do or you. It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, what's your dating strategy? What's your dating, Gigi? Tell me about it.
I mean, I don't technically need much strategy, bang bang, but I think right now, kid, you know, hey, you just put a tank top on and you go walk out. That's it. But no, kidding. Am I? No, I think it's more like I think it's more like not thinking about it as much, not having as much strategy really with it, just meeting people and like having an open mind to different types of people, whether they're, you know, like what their beliefs are or what their hobbies are, what their career path is. So instead of before where it was more of like a closed-minded thing, it's like if I met someone who did this or did that or had this quality, I'm like immediately like, oh, I just wouldn't pursue anything. But now I think it's kind of just like giving everyone a chance, getting to know people and getting to know women especially. But I think what's been happening since I broke up with my girlfriend in February is that.
Oh, you did? You didn't tell me.
Yeah, we split up again. I think last time I talked to you, we were kind of like off a little bit. We got back on for like a month and a half, just didn't work out. And then since that point, I mean, you know, it's been interesting. It's been fun, but yeah, it's been fun. I think I've grown out of the mid-20s phase of things where it was just like, you know, it was like Pokemon, got to catch them all sort of mentality, that sort of approach. So, and now it's just like, I don't know, I'm trying to just meet someone that I like and then see what happens, you know, not take it too seriously, not get too involved or not get too caught up in the idea of, oh, this has to go here. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you're dating someone, a lot of guys, I think, are like, all right, this is going to be my long-term girlfriend. Instead, I'm just sort of like taking it slowly, seeing what happens and seeing if we still enjoy each other, if we're compatible or if we, you know, whatever. And
yeah, it makes a lot of sense for sure.
How's the chess playing going over there for you, my friend?
That's it's I don't know, it's really tough. I don't know. Right now I have like in the last 1.5 years, or like let's say in the last 2 years, it changed like big time. I mean, just like the development from someone who has zero idea what he wants to achieve to someone who has, like, even though I wasn't successful in the beginning, it was like, you know, you have something that you want to reach, and I think that is very attractive to women in general.
For sure.
And that there's someone who really wants something. And then like last year for about 5 to 6 months I had a girlfriend, and that was that was an amazing time, and probably the happiest time of my life. I think it was just like very nice to find someone where I got happier. Like I found out something new about her every time we met, and she did the same with me. You know, it's just like when people bring out the best in you, I think those are the people you should, you know, gather around and keep close. And I think I just was, you know, so happy and so sure that this is gonna be the girl I'll be together with for a long time. That I didn't really think about how she thinks. As I said, like the moment I get emotional, I think, you know, everything is as easy as I think it is.
That's kind of what I just.
Yeah, and we just have two different, two completely different kind of mindsets in this direction. I'm the type of guy who thinks everything is possible. You know, everything you want to achieve, you can somehow achieve. If it takes time, if it takes work, you know, it will, at some point, if you really try hard, it will happen. And she's more the type of girl who, oops, the type of girl
Wait, is this actually a girl? Wait, is this a girl?
Yeah, it's definitely a girl.
Okay.
And yeah, she's the girl who was like kind of pessimistic, but she thought she's realistic. You know, this is the kind of, so we had, this was the only topic we had discussions about, because it's just like she thinks it's not possible, and I think it's possible.
How did you make it that long with her?
I don't know. Like
that's one of those.
I'm very good at arguing, you know.
Shit, man, that's like
I think she was. I think the thing was that she was able to convince me of some things, you know, and I was able to convince her of others. I think that was the cool thing, because she had good arguments. It's very rarely that you meet someone who's not just saying, yeah, this is what I think, you know, because if you meet someone who's saying like, this is what I think, and it's because of that and because of that, and those arguments are pretty good, you maybe start to think like, oh, maybe, you know, maybe he's right. And yeah, that was that was
hey, Chad, I don't know, you know.
And yeah, so I mean, whatever. Yeah, they can start doing the gay jokes. I don't care. So yeah, that was the beginning, and then that's the time when I went to Canada for 6 weeks grinding, and then I planned. That was actually pretty unlucky. Like I planned a South America trip with my best girlfriend back then, 1 month before I met my girlfriend at that time. And she's studying, and she, you know, she had like sufficient money. Not like she just had like 5,000 euros or something, and we planned everything. We paid everything. Yeah. So I couldn't say no, and it was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks. So I went.
You learned a lesson, my friend. You know what the lesson you learned right there is? You never plan that far ahead for trips with girls that are friends ever.
That's definitely what I learned. Definitely what I learned. But it's like, you know, the moment she's asking you, oh, I know you're going to South America, can I join you? You're a big douche if you say, no, thanks. So, yeah.
What I would have done there is I would have brought them both with.
Money is such a big topic in relationships. I hate it. Like, I don't know. It's so tough. You cannot pay for her on the one hand. But like she didn't even want it, you know. She didn't even want me to pay for it. Like I was never allowed pretty much to give out any, you know. Like it was fine in some stuff, but not in others. And like she was very strict about it, and I respected it in a way. It was pretty cool because it still worked. And on the other hand, it's super fucking annoying because if you really want to do something amazingly cool, huh?
I'm talking to the screen. It keeps like switching back and forth between us for no reason.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's just things that shouldn't be problematic. I think that are pretty big problems.
I think that's what you just said is what you find when you meet. I think it's more younger women than actually older women. Older women kind of like are more realistic about their own personal situation in life when it comes to their monetary status, and they're more inclined to want to, you know, let you like take them on this trip if they can't afford it, but you can. When you find a lot of younger girls who are more strongly independent, who, you know, maybe have paid for their school or always worked to pay their bills, and then they meet somebody who's like, oh, like I live in this fantasy world where I make infinitely more money than you do, and oh, I can just go tomorrow and take this trip, and then they're not used to doing things like that. So it's real hard for, I think, those types of people to accept that. But at the same time, it's almost like you might not necessarily want to date the type of person who would be like, oh, great, okay, you know what I mean? Like the type of women you meet, they're going to be really accepting of that. Maybe have other qualities you're just not going to like. And the ones that are that type of way, they have these great qualities about them. They just are, you know, it's kind of like, you know, can't win them all, I guess.
But you put it in really good words. I think it's exactly like this. I think that's what I liked about her, you know. She just did her own thing. She didn't really care about me, you know, winning it. I think she didn't even know that I was pretty rich at that point, you know. And that's what made it so special. Like because I felt like, you know, she likes me because of me, and not because of what I'm good at in a certain thing. And that's like very, when you know that, when you know it 100%, you know, when you know for sure that it's not because of that and because of something different. Like even with good friends, like you never know 100%, you know, because you don't have such an intimate relationship. But with your girlfriend, you know, at some point, you know, if she doesn't know about your money, you know, there has to be something else that she likes about you, and that was a pretty good feeling.
I think what happens is that, you know, I think a lot of people have this like this idea that when you get money or when you have money, every woman, like, watch out for all these terrible people out there, these terrible women that are going to only like you for your money. And I've never really met, I mean, I've met a lot of people. I've never met someone that was strictly like, I mean, maybe I'm sure that matters, but if you're like a good person who has a lot of other things to offer somebody, I mean, sure, like that's an attractive quality, of course. Like it's just like a natural attractive quality to a lot of people, because when you have money, that means you've done something well. You're probably hardworking. You're probably like, you probably have a lot of other things that come along with that. And a lot of those other qualities are pretty attractive to women. And, you know, I think that it's just not a big worry. I think people make it out to be this like terrifying thing. My mom's always like, oh, you know, you better watch. Like, it's really not like that. And kind of what you find out there is when you start meeting a lot of people is that that's not a worry. In friends, though, I could see it could be definitely a worry. But in terms of women, I don't think it's as big as a deal as some people think it is.
Yeah, I think it's more dangerous with friends than with, because like friends, you don't have this kind of, you just have this one area, you know, you're interacting on. I think with girls it's something completely different. Like they're not. I think most of the girls that are interesting for me don't even think on this kind of basic area, you know, or like, I don't know how to say, but like they think in a different, that I think most of them are scanning for different abilities or different things you have to be good at. I think most of them don't even, like, obviously it's important that, you know, like that you're stable in a way, yeah, but not in this kind of way that they're that the difference would be like, the difference is that you have a very nice apartment and stuff, you know. I think it's an extra they take, but it's not something that decides about anything.
Yeah, I think, especially for you, I'm sure the type of women you're like meeting or letting get close to you are like, they're not the types that are like all money centric, really. Like I don't think that's what if you met someone like that, like, I don't think they get close enough to the point with you. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't get to know that person because you meet them right away and you're just probably not going to like them.
Yeah,
so the kind of women that get farther with you are going to have these other great qualities about them. And I don't think.
And especially because you don't meet women in, like, I think the background is the most important thing. Like most of the possible friends you meet are in a poker background. And in a poker background, you think more about having valuable relationships, having people around you with money. This is just like how a lot of people think, you know? And then, so this is way more, like, this could be way more negative if people act out of those, like, with those aims, if they really just want to, you know, get to know you because you have money, like whether positive or negative aims. So maybe they want to steal something off you, maybe they just want to know you because they want you to buy shares or anything, whatever. It's just every time you feel that they're kind of abusing you, and you don't, it's the complete difference that you don't feel that they take you, you know, how you are. They just are interested in like 5% of you, and that just doesn't work for me.
Well, now you're getting into a whole nother very, very interesting world and very interesting thing, and that's poker friends, making friends. Because what happens is, obviously, I think you know this quite well, is that once you reach a certain status, or once you have a certain amount of success, or once you're viewed as a good player, you're going to have a lot of people trying to know you, be friends with you for many different reasons. And as you said, it's definitely sometimes, you know, you want to identify like, okay, like, is it because they want to buy these shares? Is it because I have a lot of money? Is it because I'm good at poker? Is it because of this? Is it because of that? It's really sometimes hard to tell. And, you know, so how do you approach that? So for instance, if you, I'm sure you meet a lot of people.
I think it's I think my approach is very drastic. Like this sound maybe like I don't know, like this maybe sounds arrogant or anything, but I don't have poker friends. I have poker acquaintances, and then I have good friends. For me there's not much in between. Like most of those who would call like how they call their poker friends, it's not even close to a friend for me. Like most of those players I really trust and I'm like traveling with and I have a good time with. They're my good friends. Like doesn't matter. Like poker doesn't really matter. It connects us and we have the same like drive and we want to achieve something. But at the end of the day, if we would be together for like 4 weeks without poker, who cares?
That's like great.
We don't need it. And those are like, I don't know, maybe 10 guys. Most of them, you know, living, I don't know, in London or in Germany, some living in Vienna, and it's very, very hard to get from the acquaintances group into the good friends group. It's like, especially from the poker acquaintances, it's just I don't give people chances in those situations, you know. It's very, very hard.
Friends now, the 10 that you mentioned, are those people you've known before you reached maybe a certain level? Are these people that you've had around you, or are they equally as potentially good at poker, successful at poker, or like what's your relationship with them?
I think all of them. Yeah, I think all of them I know before I had success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think maybe one I met on the way, but like I think that's what makes the difference because yeah, I don't know, they just know me, you know, they know me how I am, and like I think most of the other players, they would talk bad about me. Like most of the other poker players, I think they somehow think I'm arrogant or like, I don't know, he did this or he did that. I think if you would listen to them talking to other poker acquaintances, you know, even when they're like, you know, behaving nice towards me, they would talk shit about me behind my back. And there was a certain point where I thought there was something in between, you know, like 1.5, 2 years ago, I thought I have, you know, a couple of friends, but it's like they don't give a shit about me. Like if I'm honest to myself, like it's just they don't care. You know, if there's something important to me, they wouldn't realize and they wouldn't mind. You know, that's the difference, and that's what I realized, and I just feel a lot better the way it is right now because I can be nice towards them, but I don't expect anything. You know, if you expect nothing, then they can't really hurt. And that was definitely a big thing to realize. Every time after you have a big success, this is what divides those two groups. You know, I know those people. They might be jealous in a way that, like my friends, they might be jealous in a way of like, oh yeah, why did he win again? I really want to win one as well, but like in a positive way, you know. It's like they're like, oh cool, man. They're happy for me in a good way.
Yeah, I think it's hard for, you know, it's like hard for sometimes for your friends to not have like that little bit of jealous feeling if they haven't had success themselves. So if they're like still chasing that success or that score, that like feeling of accomplishment, whereas you are having a lot of accomplishments, you know, sometimes I think that almost can harm a friendship with certain people. And you never even know that you have that until it gets there. Like you wouldn't even know, but you can kind of just feel the tension with some people after you start, you know, doing more. But there's also a lot of people who are just genuinely happy for you, and they are, you know, and they're happy that you guys are friends.
I think it's not healthy if you don't like. in those relationships, I think it's healthy to have this kind of, it's like a challenge, you know. We're pushing each other. We're like, oh, yeah, you know, whenever someone has a final table, we're posting in our Skype group, and like we're pushing each other, you know. We're trying to get the best out of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And still you can be happy for him, you know, achieving something. But on the other hand, this could trigger something. You will say, okay, I have to work harder now, you know, I want to achieve my goals as well. And I think this way, as a group, we came from like 2.5 years ago when we kind of, you know, created a team. We started at 0, and now we are here, you know, from the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Oh.
Yeah.
No, I think you know what I've been finding is that when you meet, like in this day and age, the people that are still having success at the highest levels, whether it's tournaments, cash games, or anything, they're usually more balanced. Meaning that I think before, back in the day, a lot of people that were having success at that top level were very like degenerate / obsessed with poker. And now you're finding that a lot of the people that are at that point are just, they just have other hobbies. They enjoy doing other things. They like to be healthy. They like to travel. They like, you know, like to be athletic. They like to work out and stuff like that. So what I've been finding is that when I've been meeting, and this is actually something that maybe you can, you know, think about for your own point of view, because I've kind of been meeting a lot of people, I guess, that have had a lot more success and are also very successful at life. And you find that those people are actually like people you could really be friends with. And you could, so instead of like not giving people a chance, there are actually some people out there. I mean, it's not, I don't think this is like super common in the poker world, but there are some people out there that are pretty cool people. And you might be inclined to think about, you know, at least like, I don't know, you know, identifying those types and potentially, you know, being friends with them. I almost think you might be doing like I almost think it might be a bad approach to have, just to be like, you know, no, I'm not letting anybody new into my life that's into that good friendship point, just because, you know, it's hard to get there. You know what I mean?
I completely agree, but I think that it's a big age thing as well. It's like
that's actually that's one of the best points. That's an extremely good point. I agree.
I think if I break it down to characteristics, most of the people I like are not selfish. They don't build their world around themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they value a lot of things, and they protect their values. And they can argue for that, like what they think is valuable. And that's what attracts me as a person to be friends with them, because they don't center their life around me. You know, that's what a lot of people do. Like they think that someone is like superior to them, which I don't think I am in any way. You know, just because I'm better at poker than someone, that doesn't mean anything. You know, I just had this conversation today with one of my best friends actually, and he was like, yeah, you're so good at poker, you know, and you made so much money with it. And it's like, he's telling me this, like, pretty much, you know, he does a lot of stuff good as well, but he thinks that he's kind of, you know, behind in time, or like, you know, doing stuff worse than I am. And I'm like, you know, he's good at so much, you know, so many other things. Like he I don't know, like I actually value a lot of other stuff. Like he was a professional Dota player, like he was one of the most highest rated, and this is like dumb story, but you know, he was just really good at something. He was pretty much good at every game he played. He's really good at talking to people. He's one of the, you know, best. I have the best conversations with him, and I know that he can do that to others as well. You know, that's why he's pretty good with girls, and like he does big affiliating, so he makes a lot of money with that. And it's like, these are your qualities, you know. Don't try to or like don't just break yourself down to poker just because you do it right now, and compare yourself to others when there's so much more that makes your character. And I think that's what differs like my really good friends, like obviously him, I still like him because he's amazing, but like he can still learn in this area, so can I. And I think my really good friends, they just know their own direction. They don't take myself and try to find the direction, because I'm not the one who's showing them. You know, I don't want the guy to be the guy who says, yeah, you have to do this, you have to do that. Because a lot of people with money do that. Like that's what they do. They just gather people around them and tell them where to go. And the moment they don't have money anymore, nobody's there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the big difference.
So these are called, for reference for the future, it's called, like something I read, vertical relationship and a horizontal relationship. So when I'd say you're good friends, I guess you guys probably have a horizontal relationship. Whereas a lot of people that you meet, like the other, like some people you have a relationship with, they look at it more as like this vertical relationship where, and I think so. I was talking about this recently with actually my friend Asher, was like, if you start off with a vertical relationship with somebody, it's really hard to ever get to that point where you guys end up being horizontal. And I always thought like, oh, you could give, you might want to be like, I don't know. I feel like I've given a lot of people a chance that where it was just very vertical. You know what I mean? It was like, they weren't really like, you know, I mean, I don't know, it sounds bad, but they weren't really giving any sort of value, I guess, to me or to my life or to really anything. And yeah, it kind of sounds like you experience a lot of vertical relationships with a lot of the people you meet, but you've decided that you kind of cut it off pretty quickly in a way.
I mean, that's the thing. I still like those relationships because I like those short-term things. I like to talk to people. I like to get input. You know, that's why I became the poker player I am, because I have lots of those conversations. You know, I like to connect with people.
You used to be the guy reaching out to everybody for advice, right?
Yeah. I mean, I just wrote everybody. I was like, yeah, well, how was your day? Would you mind, you know, giving me advice on this and this? And I did this to like 20 really good players, and like 5 of them answered. And I just felt like, as long as it's, you know, win-win in a certain way, I think it's cool. You know, at some point you can maybe do something for them and help them in a way, or like offer them shares.
No, that's my counter to that. That's what I thought too initially, but I started thinking about it from a different perspective. I thought that too. It's like at some point in time, you never know what could happen. Like, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's an interesting idea. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, just because when you meet a lot of new people and a lot of new people are coming into your life and so in one way or the other, you know, I think it's a challenge how to approach that. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you decide who to pursue a friendship with or a relationship with?
Yeah, definitely. I think someone just asked a pretty good question in the chat.
What'd they say? Which one?
That relates to the money thing. Like he said, Joe, could you ask Fedor if he had a chance to do anything else and be good at it, but not making as much money as he does in poker, would he do it?
Shout out to my boy Bruno from Brazil. What's up, puppy?
I like how you interact with your fans. That's pretty cool.
Bruno is one of the hardcore funny. I can't say funny to code. I can't know how to say. I don't know how to even say my goddamn thing right now. But okay, go ahead, answer the question. If he had a chance to do anything else and be good at it, but not making as much money as he does in poker, what would he do?
What would I do, or would he do it?
What would you do? Would you do it? Oh yeah, would he do it? Yeah, good point. Okay, would he do it?
I mean, I think I would definitely do it. Like right now, I enjoy poker. I mean, it really depends on, you know, what he was trying to imply by being good at it. I would definitely do it. I think poker right now doesn't feel as good to me as it did like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like the progress is getting less and the limits. I feel like I can see the limits. You know, like not particularly. It's just like there's not really much I can try to achieve that does not involve me trying to be a robot. You know, I feel like trying to play cash games or like becoming one of the best cash game players right now would be trying to become one of the best table tennis players. And it's like cool in a way, and I enjoy it, but it's like something I would have to work for ages, and I would probably not achieve it, even close. It's just not my skill set, you know. It's like I'm probably good at it, but to be one of the best, you would have to put in so many hours, and there's so many players that are just like way ahead of you in hours that you just don't really want to try. Yeah. So I feel like my limitations are, are that I'm already playing the highest limits. You know, there's nothing I can set a limit for, and then just work as hard as I can to achieve it because I'm there. And it's kind of an invisible variable to think about. Okay, I'm really good now. I want to become better. What is better? How much better? What can I do to become much better? Who should I talk to? What should I do? Those questions are just things that I can't really answer in a way that I would say I want to put everything into poker. I still enjoy it a lot. Don't take me wrong. I still enjoy being in the situation I am right now, but I know for sure that in like 2-3 years there will be players that are way better than me in tournaments. Like 100% sure. And that's why I want to find something that does not give me limitations. Where I can just always, after 5 years, and I'm probably then like if I put in a lot of work and I'm good at it, I'm still like not even close to the top. You know what I mean? Like there's always a bigger thing to achieve, and I think that's why I want to go into like the economy, because I think like the worldwide economy has if there's anything that doesn't give you limitations, then it's this part.
What aspect are you thinking about getting involved with?
I want to study psychology to get like a little bit more in-depth information, and I'd really like to start a business that it's kind of consulting for enterprises that tries to improve the whole business. So whether it's what times the people work that one heard.
Oh, played a lot of basketball yesterday. I played like 5 hours. Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay.
Whether it's when the people work, how they have to turn in their work, like how it's structured, and like everything. Just like whatever it is, I think there's a way to improve every business in this world in a fast and effective way.
So your idea is that you'd study how to do that and then help people out.
Exactly. I want to be a coach for businesses.
Do you feel like you have a lot to learn to get to that point where you could do that? Yeah.
Yes. I think it's a mixture. Like, I think there are a lot of things that I want to learn. There's like, first of all, I think financially, you have to understand why businesses work the way they are working right now. I think that's the main thing. Like everything they do right now, they might even know how to do it better, but they don't do it for financial reasons. I think that's the basic. Like you have to understand why businesses like make the decisions they're making. And so economics is a big part as well. I want to understand, I don't want to be the guy who's just coming there and like giving advice, and I cannot justify it from a financial standpoint as well. Like, I think it's the whole thing. You have to understand every aspect of the whole business. And then the other thing I think is just how people work when they work. It's like
shit, man, you're gonna be studying so long. Holy shit.
Yeah, but it's interesting for me, and I have like I don't know how many years ahead of me, and I think in the next 40-50 years it's a lot of time to learn stuff like this.
Exactly. I mean, you're definitely nailing a couple ideas that you could potentially never learn. You can never be you can never totally understand some of the answers to the questions or some of the ideas you just said too, which once again goes back to that thing, no limitations. There's no limitation on what you can learn when it comes to these type of things, and there's so many that you can learn too.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that is so interesting for me is that it really depends on you, because I think the toughest thing is whether you have good ideas and whether you think they work, is to make people make your ideas reality. I think that's the biggest part. If you tell someone an idea and he thinks, yeah, maybe it's a cool idea, he's not gonna put it in his business. You have to put it in his head, you know.
What do you mean? Can you explain that a bit more?
I mean, let's say, for example, I think in a lot of businesses, it's extremely stupid to let people work from time X to time Y. I think it's the most counterproductive, ineffective thing to do in certain areas, especially in the IT. I think let just people do their thing, you know. Most of them are pretty good at what they're doing, and some like individuality, I think, is the most important thing. Let people choose when they think they're working the most effective. If they tell me, okay, you have to grind every day in the morning, probably at some days it just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't fit. Like, you're just not effective, and you can decide that for yourself and not someone else. If you tell someone you have 4 weeks to give in this project, he's gonna make it for sure, because that's his job, and he knows when he can do it the best, you know. So
I think a lot of people like probably need that direction though. Like a lot of people, like not everyone can really thrive or excel at what they're doing if they're their own boss. I mean, I think that's why you find a lot of people don't have success at poker if you're your own boss. Like, I think a lot of people need some sort of structure or management when it comes to that type of idea, and maybe not as necessarily as strict as it tends to be right now, especially like in North America where it's 9 to 5, 9 to 5. But I think a lot of people almost work better. You know, I think
that's why I said it's very individual. Don't forget that those people working in IT are mostly people that are very introverted and do their own thing the whole time. You know, they don't want to live, you know, limited by someone who's telling them you have to work from this time to this time. Mm-hmm. If you tell them, that's the thing. If you tell them, bring me your ideas, I think that's the point where you can become one of the most successful businesses, because people start not doing what you expect from them, but they start doing what they expect from themselves. And this results in way higher, I think, like way better results than you would get if you tell someone you have to do this. Like, huh?
I'm talking in the computer.
Okay. Yeah, that's just a thought I had.
But go like grind a business right now.
I mean, I just see it for myself. Like, some people are good if you tell them, okay, you have to start now, you have to finish then, and you have to have this result. Some other people, just tell them, this topic, this direction, show me what you got. And then you get something that wins a Nobel Prize, you know? Not the other way around.
Yeah. We're gonna spend the next couple minutes giving some shout outs. If you're watching this on iTunes, you can try to trace your hand against. Go ahead, 3 minutes. I got a lot of good questions. I got a lot of good shout outs in here. I have to go back up and give them real quick. All right, Fedor. If you see anybody to give a shout out to, give some shout outs as well. Hold on a second.
Me?
If you see anyone you want to give a shout out to, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
All right, I got to go back up before the masturbation comment that somebody made. Rob Sainor says, let me get a shout out, man. Watch all your videos and finally get to watch a live stream. What's up, Rob? Matilde Isabel Torsovic says, please give shout out to Matilde. I think he took his girlfriend's computer. Shout out to Matilde. If I was your girlfriend, I'd be pissed at you right now. Goose Core, I think Goose Core is one of your friends.
Yeah, he is. He's in here?
Yeah, man, he's been asking a bunch of questions, something about a rooftop and a girl. I don't really.
Oh, I didn't.
Tim Stone says, can you ask him which district in Vienna he is living? He's moving there. I move to 7th tomorrow. Tim Stone's my name.
7th is a very nice district if you live in the right area. I live in the 1st district.
1st district, okay.
I live very close to the 7th district. I have a lot of friends living there.
He says he'll show him how to table up the nightclub and completely waste money for absolutely nothing. Yeah, I've been out with Tim Stone in a couple of different countries. Yeah, he likes to get tables. Let's see. P-Man86 says, new to the stream from England. Give a shout out to the English Joey. I got a lot of love for English people, man. A lot of love. All the English people I know that follow me on Twitter are fucking crazy too. Let's see. Obama. We got the president today. What's up, Obama? Liquors. Show of Force. What's up, Show of Force? Simon. Sion T Puppy. What's up, boys? I'm scrolling through it. The Jacko FTW. Is Fedor playing the World Series of Poker? What kind of question is that? Come on. Andre S. What's up, Andre?
Shout out to Watching Wasted. He just asked the question, asked Fedor about the Facebook picture he posted after busting GPT Malta. How did he end up inside a trash mountain in a duck costume? Does he have a horizontal relationship with the people that pushed him in? That was a funny week. Thanks for that, David. Thanks for that.
Luke Armstrong, what's up, Luke? Edgar says, hey, Fedor, do you still think it's plus EV life-wise to start playing poker more seriously? Or is it a losing business?
I think poker will still and always be a winning business. As long as you work really hard for it. I don't really know whether it will pay off for you not just doing something else, because it's, as I said, pretty capped in its value, like in the value you can achieve. You want to do some pull-ups or push-ups?
Hold on, kid. I gotta answer this question. Dude, look at this GTO sock game, man. Y'all need to step your sock game up if you ain't. Let me show you.
Mucho gusto.
You ain't about this life right here. You gotta step that sock game up, son. Hold on, man. I gotta get the. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, Fedor. Hold on a second. We're doing a little remodeling here for a second.
I'd really like to show you my terrace, but it's internet doesn't get not strong enough.
You'd like to show me your terrace?
I would, but it's not strong enough up there.
All right, I'm just gonna show people my view right now at the window. Can they see that?
Where are you staying right now? What did you say, San Diego?
Yes, sir. You can't really see. There's an ocean view right now. I'm just trying to. Hold on. Wait. Hold on a second. It's a little bit dark. That's fine. I'll have to do. Okay.
I mean, I can show around a little bit in my apartment if you'd like.
Go ahead, Fedor. Give us a little bit of a tour, my friend.
Yeah, tour. Tour. So I have to turn on the lights because it's pretty dark outside. So this, if you can see this, you can see it.
I can see it. That's the grind setup.
That's the grind setup. So this is where we grind. So this is the living room up there.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then we walk down.
Going on a tour of Fedor's apartment. Gonna take a tour of his house. Gonna learn what the apartment is like. What's it like living in Vienna? What's it like living in Vienna? What the hell is that? Is that a long place? Okay.
So this is the kitchen. Can you see properly?
I can see.
So yeah, over there is the kitchen.
Little kitchen. I like it.
Yeah.
Looking good.
And the nice breakfast table. I really enjoy taking breakfast over there.
Looking good.
Yeah. And this is the dining table, and then I show my room.
Where the magic happens. I see the room. Making love in my bedroom is the thing I like to do. My name is Fedor. I'm making love to you. All right, let's see. You got to sing that song before they come in.
There we go. I don't know how to hold this camera, but I hope you get a good picture over there.
That's a good picture. A nice king-size bed.
Yeah, and then we have this little cutie over here.
Ooh, nice closet.
Very important. And then the bathroom.
Oh, holy, oh. I'm ready to take a shower in that bad boy. Bang, bang.
Yeah, that's the bathroom.
That's nice. Where's the mirror?
The mirror's over here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's the bathroom. I mean, that's all of it. I mean, nothing special except the view and the park. Yeah, there we are then.
All right, we got the tour.
You got the tour.
Looks good. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to continue the next couple questions from the foam roller, my friend, my Bex. The Bex. This Beck, you ever use a foam roller, Fedor?
No, I don't.
Dude, you need to, I mean, you're a little bit young. You're not old enough yet where you need the foam roller, but a foam roller is probably one of the best things you could purchase in your life. It's this nice thing right here. You just roll it on your body, your quads, it's great, man. You got to start playing basketball, dude.
Oh, it's this. Do you know this black ball?
The what?
The black ball. It's like the same thing. It's like for the. I don't know the English word, but in German it's the Faszien.
Oh, I think my friend James in the chat just said that, the fascia roll.
Yeah, exactly.
What does the fascia roll look like?
I mean, same. Yeah, pretty much close to yours. The reason behind it is that it's pretty good for this. It's so hard to explain in English. The stuff that is around your muscles or like that is hardening up after training and stuff, and this should make it easier or like better, healthier. However,
I'm gonna look into a fascia ball. Did I tell you I hung out with a recent one of your friends, Jen Shahad, in Los Angeles?
Oh, you did? Why didn't I get invited?
Well, you weren't there. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But I thought about you the entire time as I was talking to her. I remember like what you said, your interaction was with her, and like your dynamic was with her. And you said she was really smart. So, and I had her in podcast.
Did you ever ask her about me?
Of course, I asked her about you, kid. What are you? Of course.
I don't know. I'm not watching all of it. It's like I'm scrolling through it if there's anything interesting.
No, this was in person. In person, I asked her a lot about you.
Oh, okay. You play chess?
What?
You play chess?
I may have actually met one of her friends and maybe engaged in a little chess match with her.
That sounds pretty good. How did you start your game?
Oh my God, Fedor. Let me just tell you this story because it's actually really interesting. Guys in the chat, I don't actually want anybody else to hear this story because, well, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So I met Jen, and she was with two other women at the LAPC tournament place. And one of the women there was a very hardcore feminist. Oh wait, she's coming on oh my God, I can't tell this story. Shit. Let's just forget I just said that, guys.
What a teaser! Come on.
She's coming on a podcast. I don't want to tell the story.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
Who are you?
Fuck it. I'm going to tell one story. Okay, so when I met her, she was Jen told her about my podcast. She said I like to say the BGG. She said that I said something maybe slightly misogynistic to the Jamie Kerstetter before on a podcast, which was a joke. So she had this image of me, like she was like, I hate this motherfucker, because she's like this hardcore feminist.
Yeah.
So when I sit down, they're having some sushi. Right when I sit down, I kind of like get it. I just get it from her. I get like attacked, this little like a very big attitude from her, and I like that. I like the attitude. The attitude I'm in. And so she's like saying these things. Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And I'm listening. I'm like, these are great questions. I've never really thought about it from your perspective. But, I'm interested to hear more about why you think what I'm saying is so wrong, or like what the big deal is with saying the BGG, the big girl grind, 160 or above. I show you love 160 or below, gotta go. And I really liked her like hostile and aggressive tone. And she said 95% of the time, I think I'm right. And something about that was like an attractive statement because I've been meeting a lot of women who are more pushovers. they don't stand behind their point, or they don't make their point. I think you mentioned something like that earlier with the last girl you were with. So from that point on, I mean, you know, it's here nor there exactly where it went from there, but that's how the chess match started.
Okay.
And we could get married one day. You never know.
You played a couple of matches, or?
Yeah, she's gonna be on a podcast soon.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a nice feminist discussion.
So I'm looking forward to a live chess game, I guess.
It will literally be a live chess match for sure.
Awesome. I'll look this one. I would definitely watch this one live.
Yeah, it could be fun. Oh. All right, man, I'm stretching so good here. I'm playing great right now. All right, let me put the cam back up here. Yeah. These on location podcasts, man, these just aren't. Look at Joey's position there. Take off his. What the fuck? Calm down, Allie, bro. Calm down, bro. Jesus Christ. All right, my back feels good. You been working out any more, Fedor? You been getting involved in the fitness aspect of things?
I do quite some sports right now. Like I play soccer, and like I like to ride bike, and yeah, it's just 2 times a week, 3 times a week maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Playing badminton I like as well, but I'm not into fitness right now as much as I like to do. Like I really enjoy working out. I just found a workout thing that is outside, and I really want to use it more.
So you want to work out more outside?
Yeah, it's an I don't know, workout park outside. You know this, with like a couple of, I mean it's nothing special, but it's like a couple of bars and shit.
No, I haven't. What's it called?
I don't know. It's you can do. It's like a small where children play in normally. Yeah. But there are a couple of guys.
My microphone's acting weird. Hold on a second.
Yeah, it is.
Calm down, microphone. Calm down. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay. So there are a lot of bars, and then you can push ups. You can do push ups. You can do whatever you want to do, dips. You know, everything. And it's nice. You're outside. You know, you're meeting up with some guys. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I like it more than a fitness center. A lot more.
Yeah, I think the fitness center to a lot of people is pretty boring. It's not the most like GTO spot. I mean, you can do like, there's a lot of yoga outside now. Rock climbing is something I just started to get really interested in. Obviously, basketball. You know, how tall are you? You're not very tall, right?
Not tall. You always think I'm tall. I'm not tall.
Dude, you look like one of those like 6'4" skinny Swedish kids that I know. All those kids are so tall.
I had to work it out last time. You already asked me. I think I'm 5'10", 5'9".
That's not bad. Was Jungle Man's girlfriend taller than you when you guys were salsaing together?
I think she is.
Yeah. I
think it's very close.
Do you know what kind of relationship they have?
What is this kind of question? I mean, a very nice relationship. A loving one.
I think something came out. I don't know if it came out on the last podcast or if it came out. Someone said something about their relationship though.
It wasn't me. It was definitely not me.
I think it may have been an open relationship, I believe.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, she's definitely open to dancing salsa.
Bang, bang. Okay. Have you met any more Romanian women since that point?
I did. One.
And
or maybe she's Bulgarian. Yeah, just all the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think that's racist, though. But I guess you're right. Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't really talk to any girls besides French girls, right? That's what our conclusion was last time. Like those petite French girls.
Where can we meet some French girls together? Can we meet some in?
No, I think we should go to France or somewhere around there.
Oh, Jay Kuhn said that. Oh, yeah. How does Jay Kuhn know everything? God, Jay Kuhn knows everything. Yeah, I'm probably in for a French trip. I don't know, France. France is just, that's the thing. Like I'm really into French girls,
as long as they don't speak something that I understand most of the time. I don't
Meaning
know.
they speak English or they speak German.
In general, I don't like French people. I don't know. It's just like biased.
But you like French girls.
I like their look. Yeah. I like how they dress. I like when girls talk French. Very sexy, I think.
Ooh, okay.
I like how they dress. I like how they behave. But it's just most of the time they have really, really, really weird, thinking about how the world works, and that's, I don't know. That's just typical French.
Well, if
But
I don't
same
get
for Germans. Like Germans are weird as well. As hell. Like,
I don't think I've met, my sample size on meeting either race is not very large, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, I guess.
I'm not saying everyone is like that, but I think the country where you were born in is immensely has a lot to do with what character traits you're more likely to have, or which are more likely to be stronger than others. I think, for example, Canadians are just like, if I could choose randomly between a Canadian and a German, I would snap pick the Canadian if I don't know both of them.
Very racist today, my friend. Now we're getting to the... Well, I mean, I would choose a Canadian over a French person, too. French girl. I don't know.
Pick a French girl.
What'd you say?
You would pick a French girl over a Canadian girl?
Well, I think it would depend. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've met any French women. Ever.
Oh, it's pretty, I don't know. Most of them can cook amazingly as well. That's something cool as well.
That makes sense. I guess the accent always seems like it would be, like, accents in women seem like they would be pretty attractive.
So you're coming to Monte Carlo and we're doing the French girl grind?
Dude, if I go to Monte Carlo, like, the thing is, when I go to Europe, I'm just not coming back. There's no way I'm going to come back, because you got Poker Stars, you got Europe. Literally, all of the people I really like, there's a couple Americans that I'm good friends with, but most of the people I talk to more often than other people all live in Europe. And once I go there, I'm not going to want to leave. I'm just going to stay. I'm probably going to go to Malta. I'm going to go hang out with all the Northern European kids in random parts of Norway and Sweden, and I just don't think I'm going to come back. So it's a good and bad thing.
Europeans, I don't know. They just know how to live better than Americans, I think.
Yo, shout out to the Europeans, man. They're playing great.
Shout out to Europeans.
What plans do you have coming up for travel over the next couple months here?
Yeah, I mean Monte Carlo, and then Scoop at home, and then Vegas, and then after that I take a 1 week vacation in Felden. It's a very nice place here in Austria. There's like a 2K main event, and it's right on the sea. It's amazing. You have to look at pictures. It's like so nice there.
So you got Monte Carlo. What's Monte Carlo like? So Monte Carlo is
a shit place. It's like Bahamas without the beach. So you just get overpriced food that is not worth the price at all. You know. Bye, Joey. Yeah, I mean,
is Monte Carlo in Monaco? Is that a dumb question?
What?
Is Monte Carlo and Monaco the same thing?
I think that Monaco is it's not called state, I think, but like, yeah, I just say state, but in German it's called different. And then Monte Carlo is like a city district.
Oh, okay. So what is it like there? What are the people like? What are there locals there? Is it a lot of tourists? Like, do you ever interact with random people and have conversations with them?
In Monte Carlo?
Yeah.
It's very rich. People like to be on their own, and it's like all the rich people, they like to be on their own, and then the other guys are tourists. That's pretty much how it works.
The other guys are what?
Tourists.
So you don't go around like talking to people like, hey, where are you from? Oh, what are you up to here? What are you doing?
I mean, I'd be grinding the whole time, so no, I don't.
Right. I meant more in general. Like, say, like I went there and I was just like, 'cause, you know, some countries like people are friendly. Some countries people are like really standoffish and not very
Oh,
open.
they're definitely friendly. I mean, it's like the cool thing is like in Bahamas, for example, you always feel like kind of weird when you talk to other people because they know that you have like 500 times more money than they have. But in Monte Carlo, you never know. They can always be like super rich. So people are way more relaxed and they don't really, they're not asking about how much money they have because they know that everybody who's living there is pretty rich. Or like most of them. Obviously, there are a lot of people living there as well who are not like super rich, but most of the people live there, I think, for tax reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's a weird city. I've just been there 3 times, but this is definitely something that is against my kind of how I think things should be.
Huh. Monte Carlo, huh? I feel like I really need to hit up some of these places at some point. It's just like very expensive to travel. Like, it's very expensive to travel. Like, especially if the flights and the hotel rooms, like, it adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, it does. But I think in Europe you can do the best trips like by train or something. It's like if you do Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Vienna, Rome, Budapest, you just need a train ticket and you're good to go. You pay like 200 euros and you can do all of those cities, or you can take a bus or whatever. It's not that bad, to sit like 4 hours or 5 hours in a bus. I think traveling in Europe is, I think, pretty easy, and the cities you have to experience are just amazing. Like, I don't know, start in Barcelona or like Portugal, go to Barcelona, Madrid, and fly to Amsterdam, and then just make around and visit everyone, who's inviting you and who's living there. You can live cheap if you know people. Somebody's inviting you and you can stay, like you can stay at my place. We chill in the jacuzzi and like do whatever. You don't pay anything. I think that's how it should be.
That's what I was thinking about doing, actually, what you just said right there, because I was talking to a friend recently about, because I'm going to Tomorrowland in July in Belgium, and I was thinking about just staying over there after that and just traveling around. But instead of staying in hotels, just stay with people that I know. I think that would be like a more, you might be sleeping a little bit shitty, but.
Do you know couch surfing?
Well, I don't want to stay with random people.
You don't?
No, I don't want to stay with fucking random people in like Sweden. I mean, I guess that could be GTO, but.
I think in Sweden it's like 50-50. Like, I think if you couch surf like twice, you probably meet the woman of your life.
Huh. Interesting. Meet the woman of my. Huh. You think so?
Yeah, maybe. Definitely not in Vienna.
No. Well, someone, Zach in the chat said people don't smile at all. I actually like places like that because then it becomes kind of fun to make people like you engage these people in conversation that might not be used to getting engaged in conversation. And I may debatably be someone who's good at engaging with random people in conversation. So it's then kind of fun. You like get them to open up a little bit. Maybe they smile. Maybe they tell you about themselves. And
yeah, it's definitely ridiculous. Germans, most of the German cities, especially southern cities, and then Vienna, it's ridiculous how people really don't want to engage in any conversation with strangers. It's like,
really?
That's why the city is so nice. Like, that's why the city is so clean and all, because they're all so close-minded. Everybody's minding his own business, and it's pretty sick. Like, if you walk through the city and you smile, have like a really big smile on your face, I'd say less than 5% return. If you do this in like another big city, like, I don't know, Amsterdam, I'd say 25% to 50% will smile back.
I've never been that aggro with it where like I'm walking down the street. Like, how are you doing? Like, I've never quite taken that approach. I don't do that ever. I don't ever like walk by.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to wink at someone. Like you don't have to, say hello to someone.
Hello.
But
How
like,
are you?
just let's say you're just walking the street and you just have a big smile on your face. You're like just looking at someone for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then he has this face is like looking away.
Well, what about in closer? What about in closer proximity? If you're in like a restaurant, if you're in like a grocery store, a cafe, and you strike up a conversation with
Everywhere. Even in clubs. That's what I found so ridiculous. I'm this type of guy who like really likes to get eye contact before I talk to. I'm not just a guy who's going over to guys like, hey, just random line and then like blah 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 talking and then whatever. I really like to get to build it up, to get some eye contact and then start maybe dancing with her, talk to her for a short while, and then just like have some special thing going on. I'm not the type of guy who just likes to have a repeatedly thing like routine that I'm doing. It just gets like supposed me to go. But I really enjoy how it develops when you look into each other's eyes and then you just start dancing and stuff. I really enjoy that. And it was ridiculous how much it depends on the like self-confidence of the other person. Like I was just smiling at this girl in the club like a couple of days ago, and I just felt that she liked me, but she was so unsure that she was always looking at her girl, like at the girlfriend she was with, and she didn't know, what to do, like smiling back or, and it was so awkward, and I had to laugh so badly because she was so, so unsure about what to do next because nobody does it, in a club. Most of the guys, they would just like, starting, rubbing her back or something. That's just no, I mean like, no, not this way.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
That's I think actually that line could work better than dancing. Just I think this is one of the worst things to do. Just like not dancing behind her. I think that's just so stupid. You know what I mean?
Where you come up behind him and you're just like you're humping them like in the no, I mean that was kind of a weird angle for you guys to look at, but that's kind of what the guys do. They're like rubbing, they're like it's kind
of exactly. I think that's one of the least effective things how to approach someone by dancing.
Well, I also think it's kind of like it's almost like a Hail Mary sort of approach. Like, what's the worst that can happen? She like doesn't like it or she does. I think if you throw it out there, I've never really done this. I've never been that like guy who walks up behind you and like starts,
humping someone from behind.
Yeah. Although I've seen it work. I've seen it become successful. It just kind of depends on the type of interaction you'd like to have that night, I suppose. So I don't know. I'm ready for a dance-off with you, though. Are we going to have a dance-off at some point in time?
I'm really not a good dancer. I'm like mediocre at best, really.
I don't believe that. I gotta address somebody in the chat. Hold on a second. This guy's making some allegations that are false. He says, Mathilde, who we shouted out earlier. I even said this motherfucker's full name and it's 3 names. He says, gotta remember the shout-outs, Joey. Don't go big time. Big time in us, black person, question mark. Mathilde. You're showing your non-hardcoreness, my friend. We gave you a shout out. We showed you some love. You come in here making allegations, making speculations on me and my integrity, therefore showing lack of respect and honor for the podcast. I will give your girlfriend a shout out, but I'm not giving you another one because you're disrespecting the podcast, my friend. You're disrespecting the podcast. That's it.
I think actually speaking English is very good to pick up girls.
Being able to speak English?
No, just like if you speak in the foreign language to them that they can speak and that they feel comfortable in. I think that makes stuff so much easier.
Well, I never thought about that since I only speak English, but...
No, but it's like if my friend is Danish, and so we mostly speak English. And then when we talk to girls, I mostly do speak English as well because, it's just like... So sometimes I just speak English all the time. And then it just it's interesting how different they approach you. Like more interesting, more interested in you, just because something new, something that I can talk with my girlfriends about.
Wait a sec. So you're saying when you approach women, it's something new for you to be speaking English? They don't meet a lot of guys that speak English that are foreign?
Yeah, I mean, no. It's like they're getting approached by boys talking German the whole time. It's like standard procedure for them if they're like decently good looking. But it's something more rare if you hang out with someone who's from like whatever Burundi or Nigeria or
Nigeria.
And he's talking English. It's a story to tell, and I think in Vienna people really like to tell stories that make them special.
Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit of strategy where people speak English, and then you might have a better something. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, have you ever been to Buenos Aires?
I have not been. I've not been there. If I went there, I think Bruno lives. No, Bruno lives in Brazil. He doesn't. That's Argentina. But no, I've never been down to South America before.
It's ridiculous.
You seem like the kind of guy that would move to South America or Colombia and end up with a Colombian girlfriend or wife.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. It's because like the difference is just that over there, I don't know. I feel like the things that I think I'm good at interacting with people,
mm-hmm.
They just value so much more than people here in Europe.
I was actually going to say that because what I've heard from having other people on the podcast that live there, the way that they describe how people and women act there is exactly how you describe kind of yourself in a way, like how you like to act and what you like about people.
Yeah, I'm the salsa dance guy. I do what I feel like I want to do right now. I don't give a shit if it looks bad or whatever. I just want to do it. But I'm getting kind of intimidated by Austrian girls right now because they always have such high expectations in regards to being normal. I don't want to be the normal guy. If you do something out of line, they always look at you like, well, who are you? Like, and in Argentina, it was what the fuck. You could just like, if you liked a girl, you just looked at her and you had eye contact, and then you just went over. And she just, she didn't look around. What do my friends think right now? She just did whatever she wanted to do right now. That's the cool thing. And nobody around was judging her for whatever she's doing right now because they all do their own thing, even at kind of a young age. Like that's so different to Vienna because Vienna they all look around like, how do I look now?
I think this really depends on where you're meeting people. If you're meeting people in strictly a nightclub setting, I think that. But I think for the most part, if you go to like different places or like a yoga class or like outside about, I'm sure it's probably a different dynamic. Whereas at a nightclub, it might be that type of way.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not the nightclub person.
I'm not really like that either. I mean, honestly, I don't think I've met like. I got some stories for sure, but in the past like 5 or 6 years, I don't think I've really gone too much night clubbing with the intent of meeting new people or anything like that.
But how would you? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's.
Well, okay. The GTO approach is that you get really drunk or you get fucked up and you go there and you just like talk to people in general and then see if you have some sort of mutual attraction with somebody.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just that's the thing. When I'm drunk, my level of attraction is just so different than when I'm sober that it's ridiculous. Like this one night, I went out, or like I went to a party and it was like, yeah, we were there, and then the host was a girl, and she was pretty nice. Like she was like decently good looking. Actually, some of the guys think that she's pretty good looking, but like not really my type. She's like, I think as tall as I am, or short, however you want to call it. And so that's I like when they're like I don't know, a little bit shorter than I am. And but she was super nice, and I talked to her, and it kind of it kind of worked out pretty well. And then obviously you start to think about if something more happens, and then I took her and another girl which was her girlfriend. She was like really good looking, to the club. And we
Oh,
went
to the
out.
club. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we were getting drunk, like drunker and drunker and drunker. And then the more drunk I got, the more I got interested in the other girl, because she was just like not, not my type. Like the way she talked, she seemed pretty, like kind of, not my. Sometimes it just doesn't click, But like in the club, it was. I started to get more and more attracted to the other girl, and then it didn't work out that well. But yeah, the other girl took it pretty cool, and yeah.
Man, Fedor, you're bringing me back to my first beer, man. I remember my first time I got drunk too, and I liked a girl because I was drunk, my friend. And you need to try ecstasy now, man. you're gonna start loving people you didn't even know you could love, my friend.
But it's really ridiculous how it changes how you think about stuff. You're really like thinking about the next 5 hours, and that's it. Like
that's it, yeah.
And it's like everything inside me was like, yeah, okay, this girl is just better than the other one. And then alcohol just takes me like, oh, but this girl is looking a little bit better than the other one. So like, it doesn't make sense at all, But
I'm gonna go to the bathroom because I don't want to use the bottle on stream right now. But I'm gonna give you a question answer, and then I'm gonna come back after I go to the bathroom. I'm gonna give you one question. Your question's gonna be. I don't like any of the questions I have written down here. Okay, Klaus Mueller. Sorry, Mueller. He's German for sure, I think. He says he's still surprised how many poker players build their whole opinion about countries, girls from a certain places, etc., based on a very small sample of experiences. Can you touch on that point?
For sure I can.
Okay, I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awkward to talk alone, but I think, yes, obviously people are very biased, but everybody is. Everything you think about, like, when you see a certain type of person, you just, like, think certain things about this, whatever experience you connect with his look or wherever he comes from or whatever. I think, actually, it's definitely not. I think it does have, like, it is kind of the truth that people in a certain area, they just change the people around them. It's like when you're in a relationship, you change. Wow, that was fast. That's ridiculous.
Focus on the answer, not me going to the bathroom.
Oh my god. Okay, that's getting weird. Now I have no idea what I was talking about, but it's definitely the people around. Like you have an influence on the people around you, and I think that's how it is in countries as well, and like in cities. And I think people from a certain area, they're more likely to be the people around them than they are to be like the people that are far, far away. And I just realized for myself that I really, really like Canadians for being open-minded and letting people do whatever they want to do. And that just fits to a lot of Canadians, like not all of them, but like a lot of them. And in Germany, it's the other way around. Like people, they really think that they're dependent on the people around them. And I don't like that. I don't like when people always look around them and see how people around them react and react accordingly. I don't like that at all. I think people should be individually and should go their own way. And that's just something I learned over the last couple of years traveling. And probably I'm wrong, but it's just the way I experienced it.
Makes sense. Josh Robinson says, "I'm finally catching a live stream." I got a lot of love for people that they watch the podcast a lot. And by the way, I want to go back to Mathilde, who said that was his girlfriend's name. Shout out to your girlfriend. He said his name's Arnie. He said he watched over 100 hours of the podcast. So I got to show him some love. We got love for you, my friend, but you missed the shout out. And then you came back in and made allegations. Kim Jong doesn't stand for that kind of bullshit, man. That's it. Tight Slippery Redhead. What's up? I love your name. I love the comments you make on my YouTube videos, by the way. Thank you very much. Luke says, gotta go to bed. Take it easy, Luke. Much love. Thanks for always being here. Believe it. I didn't give you a shout earlier. What's up, Believe it? I like your name. Allie Bro says, are Canadian girls open-minded? Yes, for sure. Yeah. You obviously think they are, right, Fedor?
I think they are,
yeah. What's this comment? Negreanu thinks GTO is taking. Yeah, dude. So Daniel Negreanu started streaming on Twitch, and he went to go to the bathroom. He took his laptop to the bathroom, pissed on stream into the toilet with his laptop in the bathroom. It just made absolutely no sense. I couldn't believe that he would take such a minus EV move. Like,
I watched the video and I was so like, what? Just like, I don't even know what to say. It's like a mixture of embarrassment and disgust. Like, I don't know. Disgust.
Do you think sometimes when I go to the bathroom in my pee bottle on stream, but I turn the video off and mute the audio, you think you find that disgusting and embarrassing?
No, I think that's style.
That is my style. Hey, Joe, your style is pissing in the bottle on a stream, okay? I like it.
I mean, we already don't have high expectations, you know. You wearing a t-shirt today, so you could piss in the bottle. That's fine.
Yeah, Fedor was really tilted at me. I had a hoodie on when we first started. I first let him into the Google Hangout, and then he got tilted at me because I had a hoodie on, so I had to take it off and have this t-shirt on today. So we're gonna take a couple questions if you guys have any questions. The best questions will get asked. And by the way, guys, if you don't subscribe to the podcast on iTunes yet, you got to look for Join Room 1. There's 2 of them. Subscribe to the new one. All the podcasts up to the last 3 are on there. That's all I got for you guys. Yeah, we'll let a couple people ask some questions here, and then we'll see what they say. What else you got planned for coming up here in the next couple days? Anything fun?
Lots of stuff. I have to get my passport. I lost it in Bahamas, so I'm just trying to get it back right now. And then, yeah, just doing sports, getting food with friends. On Friday, I go to a party where my ex-girlfriend is going as well. So,
what do you think that's going to be like? How do you think that you guys going to speak, or is the dynamic going to be weird?
We met 3 times in the last couple of weeks, so it's not weird anymore.
Is there any of those like residual feelings still there to the point where you guys want to pursue something or hang out again or hook up or whatever?
It's so tough because I just know that I cannot do both, you know, like either she's my first priority or poker is. And as much as I'd like her to be it just doesn't work out right now. And I don't want to do the same mistake again, you know, by kind of promising something I can't hold up or like live up to. And I'm pretty sure that she wouldn't want to be together with me right now, because she's doing her master thesis as well, and like has a lot of stuff to do. And it was the same thing for her, you know. When you do something with your boyfriend like 3-4 times a week, it's obviously tough as well, you know. Like when you have to learn like 8 hours a day and go to the uni and whatever. I mean, it's just time consuming. Very time consuming.
That's a pretty interesting concept on its own, is the idea of trying to be successful at poker while also having a girlfriend or something like that, where in theory poker should be your number 1 priority if you're trying to get to a certain point at it. But it's hard to do that when you have someone else who is almost your first priority. And then what happens for me personally is that I kind of still keep poker as my number 1 all the time. And I think a smart person is going to be aware of that. And then they're going to feel some type of way. They're going to have this built up animosity towards you because they feel like they're making sacrifice. They're busy too. Everyone's busy. Everyone thinks they're very busy. So when someone you're with is making sacrifices, they feel, in their opinion, to make you happy in their opinion, and they feel like you might be making sacrifices towards poker, but not necessarily as many towards them as they're making towards you, this sort of tension gets built up over time, and then I know that tension all too well. And I think that's what happens sometimes if you, for instance, if you engage in that relationship again, what's going to happen is you're either going to have empathy towards her, you're going to suffer, your poker's going to suffer, or you're going to neglect her, and then you guys are going to have this, you know, fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was just my mistake. Like, actually, I think it was just, you know, kind of my failure that everything did broke up. You know, I think we were like both pretty happy for quite some time, and then it's just that I was the one who had more time, you know, and I was kind of, yeah, let's do something here and there, and obviously she sometimes just couldn't do it, and at some point you're obviously a little bit pissed, you know, like not mad or something, but just like, oh yeah, why don't you make time for me, you know? But then that was all right, you know. I could handle it. It was like nice when we saw each other, and I knew that she made an effort, you know, that she quit smoking for me and all this stuff. It's like it was pretty nice, and then I just leave for like 6 weeks, you know, and I don't know what I thought at that time. It's just like I could have just went for 3 weeks and then flew back. I mean, money didn't matter at that time, you know. It's
That's
just
the
like
thing, and that's what I think, and this is what I think people do a lot, almost to like a detriment, is that, like, sounds kind of bad in a way, but like let the relationship be what it was, and kind of focus on yourself for a while. I don't know. I'm a big fan of focusing on yourself and putting yourself before you put like a relationship. Really, I mean. And that might be dumb, and that might not be the most GTO approach to things. But like for that instance, you know, it's like if you want the pee bottle. Oh,
I can't listen to you anymore. I have to open the window. No, go ahead.
oh, okay.
It's just getting warm in here.
Now you tilted me. Now I'm gonna tackle you if I see you. I don't remember what I was saying, but man, oh God, I was gonna tilt myself by talking about this, so I'm gonna go back on it.
Yeah, you were just talking about the relationship, how you want to put yourself in
Right,
the,
yeah, it's
in
like
the center and
so
put
when
your
you-
girlfriend second. That was what you were talking about.
Well, no, my point was don't be in a serious relationship. That was basically my point. But yeah,
I think we just had quite some good questions in the chat, don't we?
What'd you say? We had what?
We had good questions in the chat right now.
Oh yeah. I just didn't like any of them really. My boy Nonstop says, "What's up, Nonstop?" He says, "Ask him about Paul Pages Burundi and if he started making payments." Yeah, I read it's a thread you made about this degen guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I make it short because I don't really want to talk too much about the topic right now. He scammed me for about 30 to 35K, and he's pretty much broke, owed quite some money to other people, and he was in makeup as well, so it's about like more than 100K for me, which is obviously a substantial amount of money for me. And I know him for like 3.5 years now, and obviously everybody knows him. He has quite a big reputation, and when I checked the audits and I found out that there's something missing, obviously I was pretty annoyed by it. And yeah, now he's grinding those sticks and trying to pay it back, and it's just, yeah, that's what it is right now. And I'm not really in the, yeah, I feel how it's tilting me a little bit right now, because it's just stuff that I could have prevented in a way, but on the other hand, the way he acted towards me was very, very unprofessional and extremely tilting. So making it look way, you know, smaller than it actually was. Like, yeah, it's not a big deal, you know. And I'm like, this just got me crazy. Instead of being like sorting out your shit in the right way, you know, just saying, okay, this is what happened. I'm gonna be 100% honest from now on. This is what he said, and then you just get like 5%, you know, and then you're trying to sell it as if you gave 100%, which is, in my opinion, a joke. But he, I didn't like. There are no results yet, so I will wait until, because like he set a plan how to pay the people back, and he's grinding right now, and he can afford his living. So I hope that he's sorting out at least some of the money he's owing me.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah.
The wonderful world of staking people.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I don't get involved with that, man.
Chess player, chess poker intelligence correlation. My chess background, I was one of the, I don't know, maybe like top 10 in Germany for like 1 year. Like, yeah, maybe top 25 rather than top 10. In my age, obviously. And I grinded chess like a DJ. Like, I don't know, I played chess like 24 hours pretty much, a computer against others. I didn't stop playing.
I was 24 hours of chess?
Yeah. No, I mean like 24/7. I just played every day.
Wow. Impressive. Okay.
It's like when you first get into touch with poker and you start winning money. That's how I play chess. You know, it's just like never stop playing for like 6 months, and then I was pretty good at it, and I started playing nationally, and then I won the regional championship, and then I went to the national championships, and I don't know how I finished. Like I don't even remember. It was like I lost the most important match against the one who won it, and I finished like 20th or something. And then we won the team championship, and I played in some international matches, and then I stopped playing chess after like a year of playing because it tilted me so bad that the 15th best was just like 10 times better than me, and I had no chance of catching up. And that was the same thing. Like the moment I realized that there are certain limitations that I will not, overcome or achieve, I just got, pretty I didn't really want to continue doing it. I still enjoyed it a lot, but I didn't want to do it, professionally anymore.
Professional chess player, 24/7 chess. I'm in 24/7 chess. Do you feel like this chess strategy that you've learned previously has helped you carry over to the type of chess that you enjoy playing now sometimes?
I definitely did. You have to make the first move. And, if you take too much time, the other guy might just fall asleep. And there's definitely some correlations between those two things. Like, you just have to be very strategically. If you want to win the game, you just have to work step by step. And,
I feel like the middle part. I feel like all the stages of chess are rather important: the beginning, the middle, the end. And I think there are people who really excel at the end game for chess. When you get down to that point where you need to make, the right move, I think that's what happens sometimes. What separates the top chess players from the bottom chess players is that closing out the end game.
It's really, really hard to change the game if you made like one big or like 2-3 smaller mistakes. That's definitely what you.
Do you find that's at the beginning or the middle? When you make that big mistake, it's sometimes hard to recover from that big mistake versus a worthy opponent.
Whenever it's not, even if it's in the end, if you do one big mistake, it might just cost you the game, And it's everywhere like this. If you mess up big time, you have a couple of moves to repair it. If you don't make it, you're fucked. That's it.
But that's kind of what makes the better chess players good, is that if they're better at fixing those mistakes that they might make along the way, they kind of turn those mistakes into a positive somehow in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think if I played chess, if I was competing on a national level when I was younger, I think I would have been one of the best players in the world for sure.
Probably. I mean,
I was playing.
You would just talk the other one to death, and then you would just run out of time. Pretty sure. There's definitely strategy in there.
Yeah, maybe I need to
There's
start.
actually more psychological strategy in chess than you think. It's really sick. Like, just the way the confidence and everything, it just changes the game. Like, there are some players, for example, that stare you down, like kind of stare you down when you play. It's really, really annoying. I think you're so much more likely to make a mistake when he's looking at you while it's your turn, rather than when he stands up and just walks around. You know, I think it's a big strategic thing.
Only the hardcores are going to understand what's happening right now, Fedor. If you're not hardcore and you don't understand what's happening right now, then I'm sorry. You got to watch more podcasts and come back to this moment in time, because you'll understand it. If you're a hardcore, you'll understand it. We'll take one more question, and then we're going to wrap it up because I got to go eat, my friend.
Yeah. Time to sleep for.
Oh yeah, you said you were sleeping in the chair previously. We already really. I don't like talking about origin stories for people's poker career. So Titan Slippery, I'm not going to answer that question this time. I feel like we talked about that in the past. I don't really like doing origin stories of people on the podcast for the most part, like where they came from, how they did it, stuff like that. I feel like it's all pretty similar for the most part. I don't find it that interesting personally. Okay. All right. Let me see. How did oh man. All right. What are you going to play in Monaco?
Everything.
Everything. Let's not go to that question. I see one better one from friend of the podcast nonstop. He says, Fedor, maybe you can talk a bit about deal making late in tournaments. For example, giving up edges due to bankroll management, whether or not ICM chops are fair, etc.
First of all, I don't think ICM chops are fair in terms of how I think fair is. What I think fair is. First of all, I think ICM is not the best. Like, even if everybody is on the same level and there's different chip stacks with different payouts, I think ICM is not the right mathematical solution, because it's based on chip chop. So like one chip is worth X dollars. That would be chip chop. If you're like kind of if someone has like half of the chips, he gets half of the half of the price, which is obviously stupid. ICM is this kind of thing where if someone has half of the chips, he gets first like X% of the time, second, or like let's say one has half of the chips, the other one has 30%, the other one 20%. So ICM is this long kind of how do you say, like A plus B plus C, like divided by how do you say that, the term for it?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like mathematical, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's a very long. I don't know the word.
GTO.
GTO is the answer to pretty much everything except that thing. Whatever. So you have a long thing, and it's if you have 50% of the chips, you get first 50% of the time. That's how ICM works. And the moment people play according to that, it changes ranges. Like, because if you're short or if you're second in chips, you have to adjust your ranges based on the payout structure. So if it's very heavily weighted towards first, you can take more risks. If it's like a flat structure, you have to take less risks to make it short. So ICM is not the perfect solution because it doesn't take into account that the more chips you have compared to how the others are stacked, the value of your stack changes. Does that make sense to you?
Man, you're talking all this tournament lingo. I got to be honest with you, man.
No. I explained it to you.
You sound like you're speaking goddamn Hindu to me right now, man.
I want to explain it to you. Okay, let's say you have 3 players left. Okay, the first gets $1 million, the second gets 500K, or like 700K, and the third gets 500K.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a 200K for second and 300K, 500K for first. And they all have locked up 500K. Okay?
Okay.
Does it make sense for you?
Got it
Good.
so far.
So now the first guy has 60% of the chips in play, and the second guy has 35% of the chips in play. And the third guy has 5%.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah?
Got it.
Okay. So now the value of their stacks is different for ICM right now because, or like different in reality than ICM says it is, because the situations that will come up are different because of the payout structure than ICM gives you. Because the 60% stack will get in a lot of situations against the 35% stack that are pretty much shove any two and he cannot call anything. You know this situation, right? It's a bubble and two stacks are pretty deep and the other one is very short. You can go all in with everything and the other guy can't talk. You know what I'm talking about? No?
Fedor,
Okay.
I play PLO cash games online. I've played 5 tournaments in 7 years.
Oh, okay. So you have 0 background. Okay, I didn't know that.
I've literally never played I've never played a tournament. I never pay attention to tournaments. The only tournament people I know are guys like you who are who I really like. I don't really pay attention.
Okay.
Only people like in tournaments I pay attention to are people I really enjoy. So that's not
Then
that
I started it the completely wrong way. I thought you played some tournaments and have a background at least.
No,
it's like this: when two players have a lot of chips, and one player has very, very little chips, those two players don't want to engage in a pot against each other. Because it's kind of their, whatever they do, if they bust, it hurts their stack, obviously, big time. Because the probability, if they fold, of getting second is pretty high because the other guy is super short and he can bust any time, right? So if you take a big risk with a big stack against another big stack, you have to have a very strong hand. Okay?
You know, the last couple of podcasts have really made me want to play tournaments more, but this one's actually really making me not want to play tournaments. So I'm enjoying you say
like whatever situation you play where bubbles are involved. It's like, let's say you play. Okay, I'll explain your example that you will know, that you will understand. Donga Kim, big dick Donga Kim plays against Nick Frame, okay? And now they have a side bet for 50K.
Okay.
And whoever wins the most dollars wins the side bet.
Right.
So this is the prize pool. This is the pay jump, okay? So when 15K hands are finished, one of them wins 50K. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now let's say it's hand 14K and Donga Kim is ahead 20K. He's not allowed to involve himself in a lot of big hands with marginal hands because there's 50K on the line on the side.
Now we're talking my lingo.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, you get it?
So this is a similar concept to tournaments.
So it's a similar concept, but let's say there's no side bet. Donga would just play maximum chip EV. He would just try to win as many chips as possible. But now there's a bigger force in the game, you know. There's something you're allowed to lose chips because you win even more virtual chips if you finish 15K hands. Okay? You get what I'm saying?
Now it makes more sense. Now I understand the idea. I still don't understand the actual thing, and I honestly don't want to learn it, so I'm not going to. But yeah, man, tournaments, goddamn, dude, what a wow. My head's spinning right now.
Yeah, the chat helped me, by the way. I was looking for the word equation.
Equation.
Like a very long equation, yeah.
Man, all this tournament. Man.
Thanks, chat, by the way. So it's like the important thing is that
stop switching, you fucking camera. I'm getting tilted by the camera right now. Keep switching back and forth.
So the important thing is that there is something that does not, that changes your style of playing. Yeah, you have to be tighter or you have to be lighter, because there is money involved that is not your chips, but on the side. You know, it's like you bet on yourself, and that changes the game.
I don't know what this microphone's like.
That is what tournaments are about.
I'm just getting the
Okay.
camera's like creeping me out right now. It keeps going back and forth very fast. I gotta change this. All right, I had to change this real quick to different thing for right now. Try changing it back. Okay. Hopefully this works better. I hope so. Tourneys make Joey depressed, Rasa says. They really do. I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't know how people play tournaments. So I'm gonna go study what you just told me, Fedor.
I mean, it's kind of easy if you play some hands, but it's interesting to see how little people know in tournaments about these kind of concepts, and it's interesting to see as well how difficult this stuff is. Like, there are mathematicians who devoted their whole life to these kind of things, like not in poker but like in general math. And in poker it's like, just back to the question, I think deal making is not perfect right now, but it's pretty close to being to, you know, if you deal like 5 times, you probably don't lose much. But if there are certain situations where if you make a deal, people sometimes don't understand what they give up or what they win. Like, I just make deals if I think I win more than I would win if I would play.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is.
Did you make a deal in the WCUP main event one? I don't remember you.
I did. Yeah.
You did. Well, that was kind of a lot of money, right? What was the deal for there?
That was like 80% people who had shares. Like, in general, like, that was a time where I never dealt, like pretty much never.
Mm-hmm.
But in this scenario, I was like, it changed a lot in my life, to be honest. Like, I had a lot of money locked up, like a lot of money in staking, and I had like a decent bankroll. But this, like, this X money more was just, you know, I could afford so much more. I could save up so much more. I had other investments going. So I just decided that, like, the difference between 400K and 1.8 million, it's way worse for me to get 400K than it is good to get 1.8 million, and it is pretty good to get 1.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, or I think I had 1.1 million locked up and 200K for the first or something. So 1.1 million was already like the money that was, you know, that was amazing to win, and 1.8 million was not like that much more amazing. So I just decided that happiness EV, how you want to call it, is in the equation as well. And I think I got like 30K more than I should be getting. So I think this is like quite decent. Like, at that time, I think it was a decent percent that I got more than than the money I got.
We've all been there, man. We've all had that. We've all been negotiating for that score in a tournament before. We all share the same sentiments and the same outlook on it that you do, I think. Yeah, 1.3. 1.3 is okay. Yeah, 1.3 be okay for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a very nice day.
It sounds like an amazing day for sure. Oh man, it sounds like an amazing day. You know, you're my pick to repeat. You're gonna win a bracelet this summer, I feel like.
I mean, actually, I thought of the whole thing. Like, Joy, how amazing would it have been to win WPT Vienna, then win EPT Malta, and then go to Vegas? I mean, that's how the story should have went, you know. But I can't be mad about it. Like,
you went deep. When you were going deep in the EPT Malta, I would have bet my roll that you like win it. Like, that's how much confidence I have. When you go deep in something, I'm just like, oh, Fedor's gonna win this for sure. Like, I mean, no one else I have that sort of like irrational confidence in besides you and maybe Pratush, but I think you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Cartouche is a little plays way more different than I do. I think I win more tournaments. I think he's more, you know, it's just like you can still have the same win rate, but it's just depends how, you know, what places you get. I think I'm one of those guys who gets a lot of, I mean, I know out of my statistics that I'm one of those guys who just gets a lot of first places and a lot of ninth places as well. So if I make it across the ninth place line, then I'm doing fine, I think.
If Fedor final table is the main event, can we all come rail? Of course. I mean, I'm hiring a section of people with the loudest people in the world to come.
I think I don't know how many people you can bring, but it would be ridiculous how many. I don't know.
I watched some of the main event last year in person. It was one of the most boring things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Boring things?
One of the most boring things in ever.
What?
In person. I mean, okay, this is when it was three-handed, and I was hanging out with like Odson and Isildur, and those are PLO guys. And watching on TV was just so much better because they showed the whole cards.
Okay.
But in person, they don't show the whole cards. It's just so slow and slow.
I mean, I promise you that if I ever make it to a TV stream final table where there's something to win on first place, that my rate is gonna be exceeding all expectations.
Well, if I can be in the action, like in the pit, like being like the Dan Bilzerian, getting my beard stroked or something like that, I'm in. I'll be there. If I get in the nosebleeds, I'll probably be there for you too.
It's already like EPT Malta. It wasn't nice, you know. It was not a nice setup because there was no real table, no real rail. You know, it was just like, yeah, not cool. But like Vegas, there will be probably, I don't know, would be like 100 people railing or something, and all of them getting drunk. It's like amazing.
That's true. Science says Joey can take the Scott Seaver role, offering ICM advice. I can be your tournament. I can be your tournament liaison, where you ask about ICM to me, and I break down things for you.
Sure.
I think that's gonna work out very well.
Yeah, it's just funny that pretty much all of my good poker friends, like friends that play poker, they all have so much to do with ICM. Like most of them play sit and goes or tournaments, and I think all of them play sit and goes at like high stakes sit and goes at some point. And it's just I'd say we're probably the group that talks the most about it. So I think pretty much all of them are better at ICM than I am, and I still am pretty strong in it comparing to other tournament players.
Well, I'm not going to be able to know that for sure because I'm not going to talk about ICM with any more tournament players for the rest of this year. So we'll revisit that thing.
I think people want me to show them my my equation. Called the long thing.
Equation, huh? I'll show you. You want to have an equation off? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to see my equation?
I think there would be. I can't think of something more funny right now to do a challenge against you with like little mini games.
Like what kind of like equation games?
Yeah, for example. I mean, I would be.
What other kind of games you got in mind, kid? Let's hear it. Equation off.
I don't know. Like there are so many. You know those apps where you have to test your mind or something. You know those? Yeah, let's just this kind of style. You know, you just have to solve something, and whoever gets it first wins.
An equation off, huh? I feel like I got you an equation off, buddy. I think I win an equation off. We're gonna do some sort of challenge at the next time we're ever in person. So it's probably gonna be World Series of Poker.
So you're like trying to get Donga Kim's title and call yourself Big Dick Papi, or? What's the?
Listen, I know I'm realistic, buddy, and I know I can't compete with BDDK. So
Okay.
I'm already conceding. I'm already going to concede in that category, and I'm going to be perfectly happy. Be perfectly happy taking the win against you in an equation off, I guess.
Is small dick Nick Frame already
I can't. Nick's my boy. I can't say that about him, but does have a little ring to it, though. Nick's my boy. I can't say that. It has no ring to it.
No, I think he made quite a good impression. Like, I don't know how good he is compared to Donger or like however those rankings. I'm not like so much into it, but from what they wrote, how it went down, I think he was a good loser. I think that's very important in those challenges, I think.
Yeah, I think they both had a lot of respect for each other. Whether they were truthful to how it was actually coming out or what they were saying or writing, I think is a different story. But I think they both, publicly, they came out like that, correct?
Yeah. But that's what it's about, right?
Yeah. I guess to some extent that's what it's about. But no, I think they were both pretty gracious in defeat. I think I think Nick might have taken it a little bit tough. I mean, he lost by a pretty, whether the actual 100K loss. I don't know. I think I think it was interesting. I think it was interesting from Nick's perspective on how it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with this in the future.
I really like how you want to say stuff, but you realize that you don't really want to say it right here.
Yeah, not my place really to say, but
yeah, it's not.
I got a lot of love for Nick, man. Nick's there's not many American poker players who are still around, battling and chasing success, and I think he's still working hard at it. So I mean, it's not like, I don't think it's like this terrible thing to lose to one of the Big Dick's regarded as one of the best heads-up Nolan players. So if you lose to that person, but you're still, debatably top 5, top 10, like, I don't think that's this terrible thing. But when you are chasing that top spot and you take a defeat like that, I think it definitely hurts.
Yeah, it does. A defeat always hurts, doesn't it? Otherwise, it's no defeat.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've had some defeats that were like, I think I still felt like accomplishment from it. I've lost a couple prop bets where, like, at the end I still lost it, but at the same time I felt like I tried my hardest and I put all I had into it, so I could accept the loss pretty easily. So
yes, I agree.
That was only one prop bet. It was my play chip prop bet.
But then again, it wasn't a defeat. Just people thought that it was a defeat, but it wasn't.
What do you mean?
I mean, for you it wasn't. And I think that's what counts.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, for me, I lost $18,000 on goddamn play chips. So at one hand, it was a defeat if you look at it from a monetary standpoint.
How did you fucking do this? I mean, that was ridiculous. I didn't watch a single hand or how you tried to do it, but did you like work for it? Did you had any plans or something?
So what happened was we were doing the Yarny prep bet streams every day, and I was like,
I followed this one. Yarny is a beast.
I know. I was so amped up to like do a prop bet because Yarny has 300K on the line. So in the chat, I'm like, you know what? These play money games, I think I could turn 3,000 to 20 million. And then I was like, I'll bet on that. And instantly in the chat, everyone's like, book, 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 book. So instantly I got like 18K in action. I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess I got to do this. At first I had like 10K and I was going to stop there. And then more people wanted to keep betting. So I was like, fuck it. I'll keep betting. I was already up 7 hours. I think I took an Adderall already. So I was like, all right, let's do this. I took another Adderall, double dosed. Had no approach. I was just like, my initial strategy was really bad. I played for maybe like 12 hours and I was just like dejected. I took a nap for 4 hours, woke up, had a plan, just started crushing it, got up to 10 million, lost the flip for the game. I had ace king and he had aces for like a 22 million play chip pot. And then I was down to like a million and then I just couldn't get there from there.
GG, bro.
Yeah, I slept like 4 okay hours and I put in like, I was awake for like 31 or something like that. So, or maybe a little bit less, maybe like 27, 28.
So you did it like you booked the action and then you started it right away, or
I immediately started right away. I was ready to go.
Okay, how many tables did you play?
Well, the most play chip tables you can play is 6.
Okay.
But what kept happening is people from the chat kept joining the tables, and like, so instead of me playing against like, you know, not professional poker players, you have like professional poker players playing at my table on like the play chips. And yeah.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, that's annoying.
But it was like I was streaming it, so like it's really easy to know I'm already doing it. It was just if I did it again, I couldn't make it so public, basically, because people would just be playing with me.
But I think this is stuff you will remember, and it's definitely worth at least 500 of those $18K, right?
I mean, who cares about the money? It doesn't even matter, really. Like, it didn't really made absolutely no difference. I was like, all right, I lost, whatever, it's fine. Like, I mean, that's like a normal. That was like a normal losing day, I think, at that point in time. Like 15K, 10K, win that or lose that. So it was kind of like, you know.
Whoa,
it happens. It happens, man.
Pretty thick guy.
It happens. Yeah.
Joe Ingram, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm getting sad thinking about it. I hate losing prop bets, man. I'm getting sad thinking about it right now, man. All this ICM talk and losing prop bet talk, man, really put me in really making me want to go have a steak.
You want to have a steak? Oh,
Yeah.
I just came from a really good steak place and had a steak. It's really good.
What kind of steak do you like to get at places when you go eat?
Actually, right now, when I came back, I felt so full. It just doesn't feel good anymore. I definitely try to not eat so much in restaurants anymore. It's just like, yeah, this and this and this, and then you just like completely full. From now on, I'd really like to just, you know, get some food I really enjoy and try to enjoy it more than just try to eat.
Before we get into this, I got to tell people, if you're not one of the hardcores, you probably want to check out now. We're probably just going to talk we're going to talk about a couple of various different things that I mean, the hardcore fans are going to enjoy. But some people, the noobs, I mean, if you're watching this long, I feel like we're like 2.5 hours into this. You're probably pretty hardcore. So continue on. You say when you go eat, you like to just get a lot of food and eat it?
Yeah, I don't know. I just eat so much, you know, as much as I can eat, which is kind of stupid in a way, I think.
So instead of like getting 1 or 2 things that you might really enjoy, you just get as much food as you can, and then you're kind of like super full at the end where you're ready to.
No, it's not that sick, but it's like, you know, you get a steak and then you get like 2-3 sides, and then you maybe get a dessert. So it's like the portions are pretty big. So it's like a 350-gram steak, and then the sides are pretty big as well. So it's like, you kind of, when it tastes good, you know, you kind of feel obliged to eat it. You know, how could you?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the last 10% might not be, you know, what you want to eat anymore, or like might not be that good of an experience, but you still eat it.
We also, I mean, I know you don't. I don't know if you think about this, but I think about this. The more food you eat, the more size you're going to put on potentially. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I just want to feel good, and this just didn't feel good. Like, I really want to make it more and make more an experience out of it than just food.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you're gonna. I think if you ever get into the, like Ansky was on recently, I think last week, and he was talking about how he loves like going to different restaurants and trying a bunch of different food and stuff like that. And I think I think that's like a cool thing to enjoy. Like that's like something that I think is fun to do. You know what I mean? Like be like a big foodie.
I'm a big foodie. Like, I know, I'd say probably close to all good restaurants in Vienna. Like, there's no insider restaurant you can find that I don't know, I think.
What's the most disgusting thing you've ever ate, Joe? Your friend Joe asks.
Me?
Yeah, what's the most disgusting thing you've ever ate?
Barbecue in Vietnam.
Why was that disgusting?
I got food poisoning for 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
How is that possible? 6 months?
I couldn't eat properly for a month, and then like 2 more months I couldn't eat like fat stuff, and then 3 more months I still felt it in my stomach.
Did you go to some like busto place, or was it like a street food, or what kind of place was
It was actually a restaurant. It was I was so sick. It was the last day of our travels. Like we've been in Asia, like went through all Asia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. Then we had the night before our flight. We was like, okay, yeah, let's get some good barbecue. Let's eat some meat. And my friend, he ate everything. He ate like it felt like he ate the heart of ducks and like the liver of I don't know what kind of stuff they had there. And he ate like 25 different kind of things that I would never try to eat. And I just had like some I don't know, pork. Obviously I get the food poisoning. How ridiculous is that? Like
26 months?
What? No, 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah, that's crazy because you ate some bad pork.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't remember. It was on a barbecue grill. Maybe it was the sauce. Like they had the sauce to it, and it was kind of a soya sauce with like barbecue shit. And I'm not sure if it was the meat or the sauce because he didn't eat too much of the sauce. And since then, I couldn't eat soya sauce. So maybe it was the sauce, but I'm not entirely sure. So I was sitting on the airport, and then my flight was going like a 12-hour flight back to Germany. And I was white. Like I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, I'm focusing. I close my eyes and I focus on not vomiting in the next 30 minutes. And then I went on the airplane, and the lady, she looked at me and was like, "You look like you're dying. Like, do you really want to board this plane? Are you ill?" And I'm like, "No, yeah, exactly." I was just like looking at this, and I was like, "Oh no, it's completely fine. I want to go home." And I boarded the plane. We left takeoff 2 minutes, and I started vomiting for the next 5 hours.
Jesus.
The lady to my right. I was so sorry for her. Like, she had to sit there and pretty much look me vomit like for 5 hours. It was, I don't know. I was more sorry for her than for me. It was just like so ridiculous. I mean, you just get on the plane, and then this guy to your left is just vomiting straight. I mean,
that's like why I sometimes worry about going to certain countries like that. I mean, you got to worry about like the paid sex workers. You got to worry about the scammers, the police. You got to worry about getting dog food poisoning from eating some type of food.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Asia too much.
Are you excited to go back?
Another part. I really, really look forward to Japan and even China. Definitely some parts of Russia as well. Maybe I'm really interested in India and Nepal, and like I'm interested in even like Pakistan, Iraq, Iran. All this kind of stuff interests me as well. But another time.
Maybe when you get a bit older, you'll be ready for those places, huh?
I mean, next stops, like I think in the next 2 years are gonna be Australia, New Zealand, then Vancouver at some point because everybody tells me it's the nicest city.
Greatest place, man, for sure. My favorite.
Yeah, and then Scandinavia for sure again because I know so many people there, and maybe it's time to find the woman of my life.
I got to be honest with you, Fedor. I'm nervous to go to Scandinavia.
It's ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous how many good-looking women I have. Like the standard is just like it's so nice how those like I don't like the rating, but like those 7.5s, you know, they just feel like 5s because they're like mediocre, you know. I really like it. And then you're the guy who's like, oh yeah, you don't look that good, but I'm gonna take you. It's fine, you know. You have other values. I really like these scenarios. Yeah.
I'm nervous, man. You're making me nervous saying that again. I can't do it. Montreal. Are you gonna go to Montreal?
I've already been there a couple of times. I lived there when I was young.
Cyan
As a
asked
kid.
he said, come to
Kiddo.
Montreal.
J'apprends le français à Montréal. Hein? That was French.
Je suis. Fuck, I forgot that meant. I don't know what that meant. I got nothing. Je m'appelle.
Maybe it was Japri, but I'm really out of. I really forgot all the words.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go do that thing we talked about earlier, where I'm gonna go stay with different people in Sweden and Norway for like a couple weeks, or like a month or something like that. Probably a couple weeks. And
do it in summer. Don't do it out of like. Definitely summer.
Yeah, I'm thinking August actually. I might do it. Is
yeah, August is the perfect month. I've been to Stockholm. Stockholm is so nice. Like people are amazing if you're a foreigner. Like everybody is just like nice and good looking, and just have cool places. You have so many nice chili shops to buy clothes. It's just like everything. Yeah.
Do you know what the best part of Scandinavia is, Fedor?
No.
They let you play on Poker Stars in that country.
Oh, they do?
Which to me is a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should maybe come to Vienna.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'd go there if I'm in Europe. I'm like, obviously, that's a 100% destination for sure. Because
yeah, I mean, I'm really, back there, you were talking to someone in the chat who you think you were disappointed in. I'm really disappointed in you. Like, in Bahamas, you were talking to me like, yeah, I'll come by. Like, we will have this bet. We're gonna play basketball. What happened? I was waiting for you, and you never sent me a message.
This was that PCA, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ex-girlfriend got in the way of that thing because I was gonna go and I wasn't gonna take her, and she like made me feel extremely terrible about myself, and so I didn't go because of that, basically.
Okay. So do you want to tell me that she's more important to you than I am?
Unfortunately, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, so you still have feelings for her?
Oh no, not anymore.
Not anymore?
No.
Sure.
Now I'm onto somebody else, basically.
You are? Is she French? Is she little?
She's not French, no. Not French.
Any, like, I don't know, can she do anything? Anything good?
Can she do anything good?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, some card tricks?
It's a great question. Can she do anything good? That's actually a great question. Can she do anything good?
Wow, this is taking way too much time, man. Way too much time. You're not gonna marry her.
That's what I don't think. I don't know if it all revolves around the idea of meeting someone you're going to marry. I think you can have.
I think it evolves all around the idea that when you meet someone, most of the time, if it's not the thing right now, it's not going to be the thing in like a year.
Well, I know what you mean for sure. I'm actually, there's definitely some stalkers watching this, so I'm not gonna, I can't get into it really on the stream because I'm not sure who's watching. Shout out to the stalkers, by the way, if you're watching this, and just shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. But yeah, I can't quite get into it. I'll get into it when I hit the stop broadcast button here on Google Hangout, though.
Okay.
That's the most like covert, secretive answer I've ever given on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's maybe her tactics rating is good. It could be good. I believe it says crowd surfing in Scandinavia is the nuts.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as I told you, it's like just go for names that look like they might be women. In Scandinavia, you never know, but most of the time you're right.
Think how interesting these podcasts and video blogs would be if I did this too. See, I'd have to be documenting the entire thing.
I mean, it's quite a long podcast. You really think that we should, keep going with the shit talk?
Oh, this right now?
Yeah.
Oh man, like I said, this is why we kicked everybody off. It's just the hardcores only, man. Don't worry, Fedor. No one else is here except the hardcores right now.
Where are the hardcore questions? That's the thing I think we're missing.
What do you mean?
Like the deep stuff, like I can't think of something, but that's why we need the crowd, to ask the good questions.
They probably listened to that ICM talk you were doing earlier, and they like fell asleep or something like that.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure one of them is solving the equation of a better ICM.
That's true. That's true. Zach says standard release or extended release for Adderall. I like both, but I take extended release right now.
What?
For Adderall?
Oh, is this kind of concentration shit thing everybody's taking?
Mm-hmm.
You take it as well?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Sometimes.
I don't know.
I wouldn't recommend it to someone who's never taken it before. I don't think I really. Nah.
I'm really not into drugs. I tried some. It's just not my thing. I don't know.
Give us your Ike Haxton impression, and then we're gonna go because I gotta go. I'm gonna have to eat something right now. I
would really have to watch a video of him again. I think then it would be good.
Hold on, let me show you.
It's like you just have to. Yeah. I really have to.
What the fuck? No, go back. Do that again. That was good. Go ahead.
I just have to wait. I know this one scene. I mean, I love Ike Haxton. Like, he's a nice guy, but there's one scene. Do you know this thing? Do you know how he won PCA or came second or something?
Uh-huh.
You know this one? You don't?
I do know the one. Yeah, against Ryan.
Oh, it's so sick. Okay, so he's there. He's playing. I was like, I mean, back then he had this long hair and he's sitting there, and then he has his shoulders up there, and then his glasses like probably a little bit further over there, and then it's on the river, and the other guy raises him, and then he goes down like this for 30 seconds, and then he goes up, and he's like, I'm all in. This is the best I've ever seen of Ike Haxton. But for an impersonation, I'd really have to watch again some videos of him, and yeah, you just have to know all those smart words and put everything into like, yeah, really in a really good way. You have to talk in a really good way. Otherwise, it's just not Ike Haxton. I
feel like when I do his impression, I need the glasses almost to make the impression. Because like
you want mine?
I wish I could. Whoa, you look so. Wait, hold on. Go back. Take those off.
Huh?
Damn, you look so much different without glasses on.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ.
Better?
I don't know. Just so much different.
I mean, I actually, when I'm going out, I take them off. I feel. I like me more without, but I like me with as well. So it's fine.
Yeah, so different.
Please do the impersonate, like the impression. I wanna see how you talk.
It's really hard to do it without glasses on. That's a good point, Fedor. I think in that spot I would like to race, but I need to watch some more videos, man. I haven't done it in a while, dude. I'm like nervous right now. Yeah,
but that was actually the right direction.
Yeah.
I think he does this as well, like these moments where you see that his brain is just solving the GTO for the spot right now, just where you see it in his face.
So I was wondering the other day, I was at the gym and there was this girl doing squats in front of me in the tightest, smallest shorts ever, and I was wondering if Ike Hollywood Haxton could avoid looking at her.
I think you definitely misjudge him a lot. I think he's way more normal in those spots than he might seem.
Well, he's married, though. I think he might look at that as a sign of cheating on his wife.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know, but I don't think so. I think he's very, very. I think he's the most rational person I know. That's why nobody can fight with him, because he's extremely intelligent and rational. And as a rational person, you're fucking looking at a tight ass. That's how it is.
God, it's so hard. It's so, man. How?
And I think that's why. I'm just like 99.9% sure that his wife will not judge him, because that's why they're together. Because she's this kind of built in this kind of way as well. And I think he knows, and that's the cool thing about it, because he's just doing, like, he can be himself. Because your microphone is dying again.
No, it just like keeps like registering something.
Yeah. So I think he, with her, what I imagine it being is that he can just be the person he is, and I think that's why he would soak up those.
Believe it says there's an interview of Ike. His name's Hollywood Haxton, by the way. I don't even know who Ike is, but there's an interview of Hollywood Haxton being interviewed by Amanda, that hot Poker Stars girl. He didn't blink an eye at her and just stared 90 degrees away. Yeah, I feel like Haxton's got the dream machine logic in his head where he can avoid looking at the girl in front of him doing squats.
Yeah, I mean, he can definitely do it. That's the thing, he doesn't need it. I think that's. But if he wants to, he does it. That's the thing. Like.
Andre says, "Can we all tweet Ike to come on the podcast?" I mean, if you guys want to have. I don't even know. I mean, I don't think I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's had to seen some of the. I feel like I don't know if maybe he hates the impressions. I think we do a good impression of Ike Hollywood Haxton around here.
I think he wouldn't hate. I don't think he's capable of hating someone for something like this.
We do impressions of Ike in the most endearing way possible. We got a lot of love for Hollywood, man. Hollywood's a beast. Hollywood's a beast, man. God, that would be the most amazing fucking podcast ever.
With Ike?
Just because we've done the Ike impression like 100 times. Yeah. I mean, we literally have done it so many times. Like, it's our favorite impression now. It's more favorite than the Jungle Man impression.
Yeah, I mean, Jungle Man is really hard to impersonate. Like, Ike is so easy. Like, he just gives, you just have those three things, like the face, the shoulders, and then the voice. So it's like very easy. But with Jungle Man, it's like, how do you want to make the face? It's like, this face is not impersonatable.
Yeah, I really like Jungle Man though too. I like Jungle Man more than a lot of people.
I never really talked to him, and I think we started on the wrong foot. So I'm not sure if we ever become good friends. But
you guys will like each other, I think.
I don't think we would.
I disagree. I mean, I've talked to him a lot too, so I feel like I have like this different perspective on things.
What is your GTO approach sitting on a couch?
I don't sit on many couches. I have a beanbag chair as my couch at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would Ike say, right?
What the fuck is that face? That face is like a serial killer face. Go do the face again.
No, I can't do it like on command. It's not how it works.
Yeah. Oh well, we're gonna wrap it up, guys. I'm gonna be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow. I might be doing an impromptu podcast with Jason Kuhn. We had
Jason, yeah.
We had him on the first time. That was one of the favorites. Be back Friday for sure. I think at 6 p.m. Eastern with Adam from the Aria Poker Room. He's in charge of the Aria Poker Room. He's playing great lately, making a lot of really great decisions, I think, for Aria Poker Room. And we'll be talking with him and also with a guy named Stephen McLaughlin, who's not as well known. He posts on 2+2 as TT, but he's I think he's in his 40s. And he kind of works a lot behind the scenes, works with Poker Tracker. I went to Disneyland with him, and he is one of the most interesting people I've ever got to talk to. So I'm excited to have them on Friday. And next Wednesday, I'll be having on Jay Rosenkrantz, who's one of the legends of online poker and was on 2 Months, 2 Million, and did Deuces Cracked, basically, was his kind of site. And yeah, those will be coming up next for those that are listening. Fedor, we'll be catching up with you, I'm sure, sometime soon.
Of course. I mean, after Vegas, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna see you in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably gonna be there the whole month of June and July.
Nice. Hit me up this
So-
time. Yeah, no girl excuses and shit like this.
I'm 100% going. First of all, and second of all, I'm probably gonna see you immediately when I'm there and tackle you in the poker room and make a big
Okay.
scene and get banned from Rio or something like that.
You mean
So.
you have to tackle me really bad, like jump me.
I'm gonna fucking take you out, son.
Don't hump, okay? Just jump. No humping.
No, not at all. Guys in the chat, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the questions. Ali Bro, Liquors, Believe It, Zach, Cyan, Balk. I haven't seen you before, but you made some interesting comments today, so thank you. Much love. Goat C. Who else is here?
Yeah.
Bro,
This
Tim.
is actually, I really have to say that, first of all, the chat is amazing. Like, the questions you ask, I think most of them are pretty interesting, and thanks, Joey, for making it this interesting. Like, I really enjoy watching it, and I just have fun. Like, I just had honest fun the last 3 hours, and I think it's pretty cool that you do this for the community. So, thanks for this, buddy.
Much love. I mean, I appreciate coming on. I think it's pretty easy to have. Well, that's kind of why I do these still, is that I really have a lot of fun most of the time. I mean, sometimes, honestly, I don't have that much fun. But I mean, we've had you on 3 times now. Obviously, I have to really enjoy talking to someone if I'm going to have them on my podcast 3 times. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a rare thing you get to do where you get to like have these, like you get to like talk to someone who is another like high level poker player who also is, playing great at life for the most part. It's kind of a rare thing to be able to do that. So that's really one of the reasons I enjoy doing these for sure. So
that sounds good. I think that's a good moment to wrap it up, huh?
Yeah. All right, guys in the chat. I see a lot of people out there. Siamac. What's up, Siamac? You didn't comment at all today, man. What's up with that? Hans 111 Italia. What's up, Poppy? Jasper, Tim Nickel. Goose, Joe, thanks for, I think this might be Joe's first podcast, one of Fedor's friends. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Dirk Diggler, thank you very much. Guys, we're out. Much love. Be back tomorrow or Friday. Peace.